And it wouldn't be an episode of GameByte if we didn't save you 10% off of all your shopping cart in Jinx.com. Yes! Jinx.com. Use the promo code QuitStalling_366 when you check out, and maybe you'll save yourself 10% off of all your purchases. Alright? More or less, they shouldn't be on sale. And then you can save yourself 10% off. Maybe you want the Dragon Age the Hermit Premium Tee. Maybe you want the Warden Pullover Hoodie. Or maybe you want some ammunition or shroud gear. Well, head on over to Jinx.com. Use the promo code QuitStalling_366 when you check out. And save yourself 10% off of everything you get there. That's right, 10% on Jinx.com. Save yourself 10% by using the promo code QuitStalling_366. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to GameByte, the special E3 edition of GameByte. This is part one because we're only partway through E3. There's 2 days left, more or less. And, you know, we don't want to assume that nothing else is going to happen. So we're just going to do we're going to call this part one. And, you know, part two is going to come whenever we feel like it. Part two's going to happen when we have time. We swear it's going to be next week. We promise. But with all that on your mind, I am your host. I am Herald Silvestre, Arigatos. And I'm broadcasting live from the QuitStalling Media studio. And with me today, I got some co-hosts. Let's start off with the man who opened up a lodge and welcomed you into his inn. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the Fury Bot himself. It's Mick DeGuzman. How you doing, Mick?
Welcome to my lodge. Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? Shout out to Herald for giving me this plaque.
You're welcome.
Yeah, wait, it's I can't get it. But hey, guys, how are you guys doing? Hope you had an enjoyable E3 coverage or whatnot. And of course, good evening to everyone in chat. Good evening to Elgene, and good evening
to who?
To Herald. Okay. All right. On the next side, on the man, I don't know where he is on the screen, but he is the ElderDjinn himself. Elgene, Kuffel, how are you doing today?
I'm still recovering from the moment you just turned into a turkey for a second. But anyway, hi everybody. How's it going? It's a good day to be here. We're talking about E3. Real excited to talk about E3. And
yes.
there's a lot to unpack here, guys. I mean, we're only halfway through E3, but there's just so much to talk about. So, yeah, real excited about that, guys. Real excited.
Yeah, there's so much. There's a lot. And DZ is here with us as well. He's dealing with a homeland issue right now. An issue within his vicinity in his home, his current house actually. And we're gonna give him a couple of minutes. We're gonna give him all the time he needs to get that settled. But he's already on the call for those of you listening to the audio-only version of the podcast. So you might just hear him drop in later on. So hopefully he sorts that out, and hopefully everything's okay. But for now, you have me, Herald, you have Mick, and you have Elgene, aka ElderDjinn, entertaining you for the immediate future. Guys, we start off the show the same way every time, and why change that? All right, why not? What? No, we won't change it. I'm gonna start off by asking you guys and everyone in the chat, what have you been playing? And let's start off with the man we haven't spoken to on the show for a couple of weeks now. Elgene, man, I'm curious. What have you been playing?
Are you serious? You're curious about what I've been playing? You've been playing.
Yeah, I have no idea. I have no idea.
So yeah, to give you context, guys, a couple weeks ago, Herald gifted me 1 month of subscription to World of Warcraft, and I've
generous.
Oh yeah, right. And I have since been honor bound to play it because I wouldn't want that money to go to waste. So yeah, for the past couple of weeks, I've been playing World of Warcraft nonstop with Zeffy Buns in the chat. We've just
I
think yeah, the two of us usually, yeah. And
awesome.
Like we are chronic alcoholics. Like, we just keep making new characters left and right just to try everything out. And so right now I'm rolling a warlock, which everybody who watches the roleplay channel knows who, or the roleplay streams, who that warlock is. Oh, there he is. Yeah, my good buddy Franz von Schallenheim. There we go. How's it going, people? But besides him, I have a warrior and what was the other class I got? A warrior and a paladin rolled on another round somewhere else. So yeah, having a lot of fun playing World of Warcraft. And I don't think I've really played very much else besides that at all. Yeah, really. I have a problem, I think.
And it's in like I'd like to think it's because of how we've been playing, right? You know, it's because of how infectious actually being immersed in the world is, aside from, you know, the usual way of leveling, which is, okay, I'll just run from quest to quest, not even reading the quest text, and killing things until I get to level cap, and then I'll figure something else out to do. You know, like, we're actually playing it like a role-playing game, and how we would have imagined it growing up in the playgrounds that we grew up on, and, you know, in the parks that we would pretend to be, you know, warriors and barbarians and sword masters and all of that. So like, and magic spellcasters, you know. So it's really a different way to play the game, and I think it's kind of like rejuvenated a love for the RPG games that we play,
right?
With the way we play them, you know, like it's different. It feels different.
Yeah, and you know, for people like Harold and myself who are lore hounds, like, it's with everything being on point, like trying to stay in character, trying to, you know, be as adherent to the lore. It just feels so good, you know. Yeah, I think I'm starting to think Schallenheim has a crush on Sylvanas, like, for a number of reasons. You know, I think the biggest reason being, well, she brought him back to life, so now he owes his allegiance to the Dark Lady. So you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, yeah. Heck yes. I kind of wish you were on that show with Thorn, because we were talking a little bit about, you know, World of Warcraft, so it would have been fun. We can bring it up next time he's on.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. Have you been playing anything else though?
No, just exclusively Warcraft. This is a burden you placed on me, Harold. I must play World of Warcraft.
I must play WoW.
Pretty much.
I feel like Sylvanas resurrecting you and giving you a new sense of purpose in life.
Sure.
New sense of purpose.
All right, Mick, man, what have you been playing?
Well, I'm glad you asked. First things first. Where's my free sub, Harold? Because I also joined the roleplay team. Come on, man.
You were barely there. Next time you play, we'll throw you the month.
Let's see though if I finish. But aside from World of Warcraft, I've also been playing World War Z. Me and my friends. I've just finished the insane mode of episode 1, New York. Well, I only did the last part. They did the first 2 parts without me, so yeah, and then I joined in. It's pretty fun. I'm a slasher main, all that melees and stun guns. I love it. Aside from that, I picked up Dauntless again. The last time I played it was on beta, and now it's live and it's on the Epic Game Store. I linked my account and we started playing a few hours ago. And let me tell you, it's no Monster Hunter World, so, but it's pretty good. It's still pretty good. I mean, it's free, so you guys are free to try it on the Epic Game Store client. What else? Of course, Hearthstone. The final chapter of the Dalaran heist is finally out, and I've finished it, so I'm kind of happy about that.
Nice. Did you save Dalaran from being boosted by goblins?
No, it's different. I actually took over Dalaran for the bad guys. So yeah.
So you're one of them.
That's the other way around. You're actually working for the bad guys. So you're trying to breach Dalaran and take over. And the only thing I haven't finished was chapter 4, but you can skip it. I finished chapter 5 in one take. Chapter 4, I made a mistake because I picked warrior and I did some bad rolls. So yeah, that's
could that reflect
bad.
the World of Warcraft? Could that actually happen? Because, man, that is such an awesome.
That would be hella funny because
if Dalaran gets boosted by a gang, oh, that's so cool.
Because chapter 5 was all about so each chapter had a specific area. Like the Streets of Dalaran, I think was chapter 3, and then the Violet Hold was chapter 2.
Okay.
The sewers were chapter 4, and I forgot what chapter 1 is. I think it's the outskirts, just the outside, and then the Kirin Tor is the last one where you face Khadgar. So that's like 12 bosses straight, and if you do well in all 12 bosses, you finish it. So that's pretty cool. I enjoyed it. I it's a refreshing take. I mean, that's how Hearthstone is. They're really their expansions are based on wacky things. They're not really super serious. They're somewhat wacky in a sense, except for Witchwood. Witchwood was kind of serious. They were talking about Worgans and all that stuff. Yeah.
No joke. It's no joke, man. The Curse of the Worgen is no joke.
Yeah, it's no joke, man. So aside from that, of course, I picked up Apex Legends again because it was ×2 weekend the other day. So yeah, it was ×2 weekend. So we're trying to catch up for our battle pass because we got some hype new messages that the hype new announcements that they gave in E3. So we're we're trying to catch up so we can get at least the free pass. Because if you level your battle pass to like 100, you get like free Apex coins, which is the monetary currency that you use. And when you get that, it's like 950 for the battle pass. So if you reach all the way, I think up to 97, you get 1,000 Apex coins total from the battle pass. So in other words, you're getting the battle pass for free, the next season's pass for free, unless if they pull an EA and knowing EA, they'll probably pull an EA. They will probably raise the price, so we won't be able to get it.
Of course.
Yeah, of course. That's known from them. And that's everything I've been playing for the past 2 weeks. What about you, Harold? What have you been playing?
I'm so glad you asked, Mick. I haven't really been playing anything. I haven't really had much time to play video games. I'm just kidding. I've also been playing
Roller Champions
of Warcraft. I got to stream some of the Allied Race campaign on my Tauren. So I've been playing my Tauren.
Nice.
He's not a Tauren Paladin. All right, don't get it wrong. He's a Tauren Chieftain. He's a Tauren Chieftain. All right. He's no Paladin. I got to play on stream. Oh, thank you. So I've been playing it on. I played it on stream. I unlocked the Allied Race of the Mag'har Oryx. Super fun questline. Super epic. Super dramatic. And I got to create my first Mag'har Orc on stream as well. Shout out to just a random dude, or Ram, as most people know him locally, who stopped by the stream and he kept me company. Whoops, he chatted with me the whole way as I ventured through Draenor, as I re-encountered the echoes of Garrosh Hellscream, and I had a whole lot of fun. Playing on stream. And of course, I've been playing some World of Warcraft RP with Elgene. We got to play with Mick on Sunday, with Derek O'Brien, and of course Jam Torres as well. We had a 5-man group going. Again, I mentioned this during the pre-show. It wasn't the best session because I had to rush everything, and lessons learned. A lot of lessons learned during that session, and I think for the benefit of the stream in the future.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun regardless. I mean,
it was fun.
We crushed it. We crushed it.
I didn't get EXP though, but it was fun. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
Actually, that's one thing I like about playing with you guys and playing with the role-playing aspect of it is the experience doesn't really matter. I mean, the experience points don't matter. The experience itself is what I really enjoy when I play with you guys. And it's super fun because, like we mentioned earlier on, it's not how we've been playing World of Warcraft. And it kind of should be. You know what I mean? People always mention, and I've said this before, people always mention playing D&D so they can actually get a full-on role play going. But you have a vessel in World of Warcraft to do that in. And it's super fun. It's super fun, and I can't say it enough. Aside from that, what's that, man?
Like the voice for my character, still trying to figure it out.
Yeah, man.
It'll come. to
It'll
you.
come to
Take
you.
a while.
It'll come to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll come
Just to let you know,
when-
Sawadi is already dead. So he's
Oh well, he couldn't have survived with how naive he was and how poor he was.
yeah. How poor and naive he really was. He's gone. He's gone.
It's fine.
Rest
It's
assured.
fine. He'll find his way to the spirits, and it'll be
Yeah.
fine. Aside from that, I've been clicking some heads in the world of Overwatch, and tomorrow night we got some scrims going. Tomorrow night around this time,
That's right.
we got some Overwatch scrims going. Me, Diego Z, Renzo Saurus, Jam Torres, and Sorbetas PH will be shoutcasting and observing some World of Warcraft, some Overwatch.
Yes.
But, yeah, we were supposed to do it yesterday, but Blizzard had extended their BattleNet maintenance, so we weren't able to. Yeah, we weren't able to do it, so we just hung out and just talked, just had some fun. Yeah, so tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Manila, check it out. All right, guys. Zeffy Buns earlier on in the chat said Zeffy's also been playing WoW. Big surprise. Could not have seen that coming with a magnifying glass. And BMO in the chat also said Overwatch. Also been playing Overwatch. Good stuff. Good stuff. Hope the ladder has been kind to you, BMO. Hope the ladder has been kind. Let us know if you are in the chat what you've been playing, or you can tweet us out at QuitStallingUs with the hashtag GameByte. Let us know what you've been playing, or message us on our Discord, which me and ElderDjinn frequent quite often. We usually have our back and forths in public there, and we're just like, yeah, man, you're so hilarious. So we do it there.
You're a funny guy.
So join us. Let us know how funny you are. All right. So without further ado, I think it's time to talk about E3, guys. What do you think?
Oh yes.
We're
let's
ready.
bring it. Let's do this.
Let's do it.
We're
do it.
ready.
And we're gonna talk about E3, of course, in none other segment than This Week in Video Games.
This week in video games.
Oh my! And This Week in Video Games is brought to you by the Quit Stalling Geekcast. Check it out tomorrow at 11 a.m. because we can't seem to settle on a schedule. The Quit Stalling Geekcast. Check it out on Spotify as well and any other podcatcher that you can get it on. Type in the Quit Stalling Geekcast wherever you get your podcasts and listen in because it is a great show. All right, guys, we got a lot of E3 to talk about, and I got some new music to play in the background while we do it. So let's get to it, guys. So much happened already at E3, and it's not done yet. E3 is not finished yet. So we got to talk about a company that all of us have become dependent on at this point. We got to talk about Microsoft at E3.
There we go. Yeah.
And you know what? Elgene, because I want you to take this away, and you too, Mick. I want you guys to get into this, but I just want to say, at this very moment, that I think that both of you are gorgeous. You guys are breathtaking. You're both
No,
breathtaking.
you're breathtaking. You're breathtaking. man.
you're breathtaking.
You're breathtaking.
Oh
You're
man! So we kick this part off with Keanu Reeves and Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
So let's get to it. Initial thoughts
So-
on this video, guys.
So, if we're just talking about Cyberpunk 2077, I mean, that one stole the Microsoft press conference for sure.
Mhm.
The moment Keanu Reeves showed up in the trailer as Johnny Silverhand, no less. Like, if you're familiar with the Cyberpunk universe, Johnny Silverhand is one of the most, you could say he's one of the more focal characters of the entire universe. Like, he's essentially the thrall of the Cyberpunk universe.
Yeah,
Is that
he
true?
is.
Is that true?
He's like one of those kinds of characters, you know what I
I feel
mean?
like it.
Wow.
Yeah, he's right.
So yeah, Johnny Silverhand being played by Keanu Reeves is freaking amazing, first and foremost. But what's more important is they've actually given us a release date for it, which is April 16th, 2020. And I mean, as it stands right now, and just a little bit of a spoiler for everybody, it looks like next year is going to be really bad for our wallets. Like, literally month after month after month, there's going to be at least one good game
big
coming
release.
out that we're really going to be excited for.
Oh.
But yeah, Cyberpunk 2077 had a really good showing. Keanu Reeves shows up. You know, it's funny because he, like, unlike any other host you see normally talking at E3, he had this sort of, like, aura about him that that just didn't scream corporate. You know, he just felt so casual. So yeah, it was really fun to watch him. Basically, he didn't sound like a robot. As a matter of fact, he was even stumbling over his own words at some point.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
when he was going to reveal the release date, he was like, "So, you guys want to know the release the when the game's coming out?"
Yeah, because he was also kind of taken aback by the fact that the crowd was so receptive towards him.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Like the atmosphere was electric when he came out, and he was like, "Whoa, this is cool," you know?
Yeah. Like,
But look
I
at
think
that
this
swagger.
I don't
I
think
love
he's
John
been
Wick.
to a Comic-Con, so this might be like be
Yeah.
his first interaction with a crowd like this that's so into him.
Yeah, right.
I
Of
got
course,
a lot
I mean,
of John Wick fans here. Wow.
pretty much, right?
Yeah.
It's exemplified by that one time some guy in the crowd just yelled, "You're breathtaking!" just out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Breathtaking.
You're breathtaking. It was such a fun watch, you know. Like that segment alone made the Microsoft press conference, which is
Absolutely
saying
genuine.
something. Yeah, which is absolutely saying something because we all know Sony and Nintendo didn't want to have one. So
Yeah.
Microsoft showed up and said, "Hold my beer, we're having a press conference." And sure as hell, they
Time
had
to
a
go
press conference.
Time to go all out.
Yeah.
This is our chance. We won't be overshadowed by Sony. Let's do this. Let's make
Pretty
it
much.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
That pretty
that's-
much
I mean,
summed
that-
it up, though.
Yeah, for the Cyberpunk
say?
event. I mean, that
Yeah.
was just the beginning. That was one of the first things they showed at the
Yeah.
press conference. You know, later on they went on to talk about stuff like, I mean, of course there are other stuff like Gears of War, Halo Infinite, and the big one being the Project Scarlet. Now,
Yeah.
Project Scarlet, for those of you who are unaware, that's basically the code name they
Codename.
gave for the next Xbox. You know, and it's starting to sound like a lot of what was going on with PlayStation 5. You know, there seems to be a trend towards going to less load times. You know, so they basically added an SSD to the console.
System,
you know, improved graphics, that sort of thing. So they're really matching PlayStation step by step as far as like hardware is concerned.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is also proprietary custom stuff. But anyway, that's besides the point. But yeah, Project Scarlet has been talked about, and Halo Infinite is going to be launching with it. So exciting stuff for Xbox fans, to
Yeah.
be sure.
Oh, most definitely. Because, like you mentioned, this has been on the minds of everyone recently, especially with the announcement of game streaming services or console. I guess you could call it a platform streaming service like Stadia.
Right.
And they were wondering what's the next step for the actual consoles that we've come to know and love, like the PlayStation and like Xbox. And this we finally got word about it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I personally
And,
like. Yeah. Sorry.
No,
I cut you off. No,
go.
No, I just have to mention how they basically want to incorporate some of the new technologies that have been introduced in the past few months, which is ray tracing, which is probably the
Yes.
craziest thing you'll ever see. They're gonna introduce that along with 8K resolutions. They're basically going all out because now they have a new architecture. There we go. They're using the new RDNA architecture, Radeon, to introduce that kind of technology, and it's GDDR6. That's probably as fast as it could be. So that's pretty crazy. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But am I alone in thinking this? Real quick, shout out to Ram, who's in the chat. We just mentioned
Hey!
him. Speaking of the devil, who I was talking about earlier, welcome to the show, Ram.
Hey, Ram.
Am I alone in thinking this, that I could sacrifice that extra 4K or that extra 1080 resolution for an extra 120 frames? Like,
It's
am I the only one?
I would.
No, I'm just saying, like 8K is a little bit too far ahead in the future. For
Right?
us, you know, like
Right.
like how many of you even own a 4K TV for that matter? You know what I mean?
That
I
one
do
over
not.
there.
I
That
do
one over there.
not.
That was okay. I just want to point out that was a 4K TV there behind me, and that's already
Uh-huh.
busted, and it's very expensive to have fixed. So, no, I'm back to 1080.
Look at Remy Bucks
You
a
get
plenty
what-
over here.
No, not that. It was a hand me down. Basically, it's a hand me down. So that's why I just asked for it.
Yeah. No, but
Well-
that aside, like I would have been okay with 1080p at 240 FPS if a console could give me that. Like, I don't need more pixels. I don't need higher resolution because I can't even afford 4K. I can barely afford 1080.
Right. I mean, what's the point of having a nice looking game if it doesn't run as fast? If it doesn't run well, you know what I mean? Like,
I could give somewhat of an insight. Like maybe they're trying to prepare ourselves. It's future compatibility. You can't say future proof because it's a weird way of saying it, but you can say future compatibility. They're preparing themselves for the future. So maybe 5 or 10 years down the line, when they still have Project Scarlet, if they decide not to make a new one, it still holds up with all of the 8K TVs that the rich people will have, the early adapters. And of course, I mean, it still will work on 1080p, right?
No, you're right.
I think the most exciting thing right now is that 1440p is now becoming cheaper and becoming more accessible to everyone. And I think that, you know, if you all loved 1080p, y'all are gonna love 1440p. I swear.
Right. I mean, that's a good point. It is absolutely future. Well, yeah, it's future proof.
Compatibility.
Right there. And future compatibility. I mean, it wouldn't make sense that 5 years down the line it's still on 1080. I mean, that's absolutely true. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But 5 years down the line is when I'm first stepping into the whole 4K world. You know what I mean?
That's true. Like, true.
Like, I would be okay with if they were just like, we're making 4K smoother. And then you're just like, what are they talking about? 240 frames per second. And you're just like, Scarlet is the best!
Oh my God!
Like, I would have had a better reaction to that.
Yeah. But I mean, it's funny because like 5 years down the line, it's future-proof to 8K, but by then we'd probably have like 64K or something like that. You know
16. Let's go. Let's start with 16K first. 16K.
With how fast technology's improving, I wouldn't be surprised we'd be at 64K in 5 years.
We're gonna bump it up a notch and skip a couple of 100,000K and go all the way up.
Yeah. Damn those cameras that go 8K now.
Yeah, we're not multiplying by 2, guys. We're going by the power of 2 instead. You know what I mean?
Dude.
Like 8 times 8. Oh God.
For
64K right there.
For real, man. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, like as far as Microsoft press conference is concerned, I mean, they had an absolute show. Like, between Scarlet, Keanu Reeves showing up for Cyberpunk, they also had a bunch of other other side games that other developers are making. One of them being Bleeding Edge. That one looks like a lot of fun. Basically, like a 4v4 melee hero brawler kind of game. It looks like a lot of fun. The characters look really interesting. Let me think what else was shown as well.
Let me throw up Bleeding Edge on the screen while you're thinking about it.
I have a special shout out though. Shout out to Xbox for finally listening to the community when it comes to their controllers, because the new Xbox Elite Series 2 controllers are probably the most customizable controllers I have ever seen. That's from a major manufacturer like Microsoft. I mean, it comes with, you can change everything. You can change not everything, but rather the joysticks and the D-pad. You can adjust how it's an internal battery. You can adjust how hard or how soft you want the joysticks to be. It's crazy. And it comes with three settings. It comes with the tall ones, the short, super stubby ones, and then the standard ones. So I kind of like that customization. That's what everybody has been asking for. That's why people go to third party manufacturers just for the sake of customization. So props to them.
Exactly. You know, Ram is asking Mick, just how hard or how soft are we talking about here?
Oh, you got me at hard and soft. Oh man, good lord! If your thumbs
see what you did there, buddy.
I just want to say, if your thumbs are too stressed out from long days gaming, you can switch to the soft mode. It's just easy. A little bit of tweaks.
It's okay. It's okay, Mick. We got
It's okay. Let's not make it awkward.
Gears of War, guys. Gears of War is the last
Gears
thing.
of War,
the last thing on our Microsoft agenda.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
Gears of
it's
War 5.
it's the next Gears of War. I mean, it looks good. They're adding new game modes and all that good stuff, and they actually had an interesting show for this one because they basically had a whole gaming setup right under the studio,
Yeah.
and that's where people are under the stage, I should say, and that's where people were playing, and they had 3 WWE superstars down there playing the game and streaming it, if I remember correctly.
Up,
and
up, down, down.
Yeah, it was.
I
Yeah,
think.
Xavier Woods.
Xavier Woods. Was it Kofi?
No, it was Xavier Woods, AJ Styles, and I don't remember
Styles.
the third person one. But yeah, they were playing the game
Yeah.
under the stage, and I think they were streaming it as well. What they were trying to show off was I'm trying to remember what it was called, but the short end of it is it's a 3-player co-op mode where you play.
I think it's Tyler Breeze. I think it's
Tyler
Okay.
Breeze. Yeah.
Yeah. So there they are. Yeah. So yeah, you play 3 guys who go inside one of those locust hive places, I guess. You plant a bomb, you leave, and that's pretty much what your objective is: to plant the bomb and try and escape in the time limit. So yeah, I mean there's a lot going on for Gears of War, and it looks like they're having a promotion with Terminator as well. So if you pre-order the game, you get Terminator skins for your characters, I think, or I'm not sure. It just looked really cool because they took the whole Terminator 2 opening scene and basically slapped on the
Gears of
gun's
War
called.
armor stuff.
Yeah, well, the Gears of War assault rifle with the chainsaw at the end. It just looked really cool. So yeah, that was Gears of War. Anyway.
Yeah, it was super cool. We mentioned this earlier on as well as I play the whole Terminator thing. Oh, this is kind of messed up.
Yeah, we don't want to see that. Oh no!
I'm gonna move away from this scene real quick until we get to the.
Before I forget, I'm sorry. I just have to correct what I said a while ago. It does not have the adjustment for the joysticks. It's that button that
the
we
controller
saw in the intro for the controller is basically profiles that you can preset yourself. Okay. You have a default profile, and you can store up to 3 custom profiles that you can map it yourself, especially for PC playing. So it's also compatible for the PC. So surprise! So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Sorry about that, guys.
Super cool. And this whole presentation kind of emphasizes how on point Microsoft has been recently. I want to emphasize recently because I don't want to give them too much credit. They're listening. They're listening to feedback. Recently, they came out with that whole the controller, the joystick that's accessible to paraplegics and people who have disabilities and problems with motor functions. So they're actually listening to feedback, and there's signs of that. And I hope we progress towards that even more than the current industry standards already have.
Right.
More than the whole every game is starting to come out with colorblind settings, and more than one company like Microsoft is putting out controllers that make games more accessible to a broader range of people. It's a great step in the right direction, because I tend to think of it as if I was that person, I'd want stuff like this, and it's unfair that it's not at that point yet, but I'm glad that we're getting there, and it's got to start somewhere, and I'm super glad that we're at this point, and got to give Microsoft props for that. And
I was gonna say, to be fair, they're really trying, and it shows. They're actually giving a bit of a shit, if you will, and a lot of this. And they had a really good showing. It's definitely one of the better. It's absolutely one of the better press conferences that was shown at E3.
Yes,
and it absolutely does show. Microsoft, keep doing what you're doing. You guys are doing in my opinion, they're doing a fantastic job, and they're really trying to reach out to as many people as they can in the best way possible. So I really like what they're doing, personally.
Yes, and I think we can all agree on that. Mick, did you have any points on Microsoft before we move on?
I don't want to be a Debbie Downer here, but the reason why last year they were still pretty on point with their E3 conference. The only difference is that Sony was alongside them, so they were overshadowed. But they've been doing a good job since last year. Well, because I only watched E3 last year, so I just saw it's them. They just stepped up to the plate because they know that okay, we're like probably the biggest manufacturer of the consoles and all whatnot. So we're the other big platform. That's what I meant. Yeah. So yeah, props to them for stepping up. Good job, and thank you for Keanu Reeves.
I don't know why I thought you were going to be a Debbie Downer, because you kind of uplifted the spirits of everyone from Microsoft watching the show right now. And we know you're watching, guys. We know you're watching, so all right, that's for you. That one's for you. That one's for you. All right, let's move on to EA Play, guys, because they actually tackled the one thing I wanted to find out from their 3-hour panel right at the start. And then I was like, all right, I'm good. I'm done. I'm set. I'm all set. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think it would have been criminal if they did what Square Enix did and saved it for the end. So I'm glad they didn't do that. We tackled this with we actually didn't tackle it. We talked to Thorne about this on Sunday, really briefly, because he hadn't heard about this. And
what?
If you guys are listening to the audio only version of the podcast and you can't see the video that we're showing, we're actually showing a video of Star Wars Jedi: The Fallen Order, or Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. There's no the. And aside from the fact that it looks like Legend of Zelda / Uncharted in the Star Wars universe, you get to whip out a lightsaber and have, it looks like the fun we've been wanting since The Force Unleashed. And we see Forrest Whitaker's character, Saw Gerrera, here. By the sounds of it, he still hasn't decided on what accent he's going to use. But
the Black Panther.
He's gonna go with that one.
He's gonna go with that one.
Yeah. I'm fine with that.
That seems to be the. I wouldn't call it a flaw. That seems to be the thing that sticks out to me the most at Forrest Whitaker is he doesn't know what accent, or maybe that's just how he talks. Maybe he's grown up with different cultures and he doesn't actually have a solid accent. But sometimes it takes you out of the scene, But
right.
Yeah. But going back to the Fallen Order, I love how your character here, the main character for Fallen Order, uses his force powers the same way I probably would. He uses it in the most mundane ways, like, I am so lazy to grab that rope that's like barely there, that vine that's barely there. Ha! Force pull. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he the way they let you use your powers here is pretty nice. It's pretty realistic,
Right.
True. It's very reminiscent of Anakin trying to get a pear from across the table with his force power.
Oh my god. It's like super casual, like, oh yeah, I got this. I'll do this. You know what I mean? Oh god, that also makes me like really excited. Like when you're just pulling a stormtrooper and just like, oh, and just shank the guy right then and there. It looks super cool.
Yeah.
Yes, it really does. And I want to get to his stasis thing in a second. But since we're mentioning the lightsaber, I did want to tackle that right away. I love that when you attack a stormtrooper, a regular old stormtrooper, it takes one slash. Like it should. They don't have large health pools that you have to burn through. They go down in one swing like the stormtroopers that they are.
Yes.
Look at that. And you sort of get those little molten cuts through the stormtroopers, which I highly appreciate. I get that they can't go full dismemberment because they want to appeal to, they want to be able to get these games to as wide an audience as possible. Ram is saying a pair of what in the chat.
Per what?
But yes, like the stormtroopers that they are, Ram.
Yeah, exactly.
And this guy, he has, in my head, I can say he has thicker armor. He's probably parrying a lot of my shots and not allowing me to get a clean hook or a clean swipe at him. You can see the complexity in this fight where you can't just pull him towards you like you would a normal stormtrooper. He actually digs his staff down into the ground and doesn't allow you to pull him as easily. There's a lot of stuff here. And like I noticed later on in the video, you get your dismemberment anyway with droids and possibly aliens, which is great. But the interaction with the mobs, the NPCs, the enemies, feels good. Not since, again, The Force Unleashed have I felt the satisfaction of one swipe killing something. And I appreciate that with this game. Is what I wanted to get to it. What were your thoughts, guys, on Fallen Order?
Oh, there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah. I can go first. All I gotta say is that finally I don't have to get a kill streak in order to use a lightsaber. Just saying. That's a relief. Huge relief. Second, the last time I was able to like use a lightsaber was in SWTOR, where I was a Jedi Shadow. Shout out to SWTOR. So I'm really excited for this game. I will not pre-order it because I'm gonna wait like a few days. As I stop doing that now, I don't pre-order anymore. I go day one because you probably get all the freebies anyway in day one here in the Philippines. So I'm excited. I love the combat mechanics. It's very fresh. I like it, and I like how the stormtroopers can actually aim this time. Also, that's another thing. Apparently, they can aim now.
Actually, if you watch the rest of the trailer, they're still pretty bad.
No, that's because you're a skilled Jedi combatant.
The Force is just protecting him. It's making the lasers bend around him like Ryan style.
Fine, believe what you want, man. I was gonna say because later on, there's a guy with like a repeater blaster, like the minigun,
and it's missing.
And he's just spraying, and nothing is hitting him. Like, all right, believe what you want, guys. It's the Force.
Speaking of the repeater gun and Stormtrooper shooting at you, the deflecting mechanics seem satisfying, doesn't it?
Right. It's just it's just once and then dead.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah. And there's so much here. And I think the one thing that stuck out to me the most was the fact that you could tell this was human controlled, unlike the Anthem E3 demo that we saw two years back. You could see him jittering, trying to position himself properly, and you could tell that he wasn't the perfect player, and he wasn't voiced by a voice actor like the Anthem trailer was, because no way does a friend of mine log into the game and seamlessly go, "Hey man, I'm right behind you, coming in hot. Let's go down into that pit together." And
did you get a new gun? Oh, did you get a new gun? Wow. I'm going to equip that right now. Wow. Anthem hashtag Anthem lies right there.
Oh, Jesus.
That was so bad, man.
Who talks like that, right?
Yeah.
It really sounded like, I thought, not to rag on it too hard because I want this to move quickly. I really thought that when the first time I saw the Anthem gameplay video, I thought it was supposed to be dialogue between those characters.
Yeah.
Right. It was so canned. You're like,
it kind of missed out. Yeah. Sorry, going a little bit off topic. I just talking about that whole Anthem announcement before. It reminds me of those commercials for Lord's Mobile, where it's just a dude playing in the background. It's like, oh, I'm about to use my level 30 archers.
Oh, wait a minute. I know what you're talking about.
The Lord's Mobile one. Oh man, it's super cringy. Just saying. Yeah. Anyway, back to the topic. I'm so sorry. Bringing it up.
That's good. So I'm excited for this. Do we have a release date? I think did they mention one, Mick?
It was holidays this year, I think.
I should probably check, but it might come out this year, I think.
Can we double check that?
I'll double check it right now.
Thank you very much.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's in November. I know that. I just don't know what year or day it is, but yeah.
Okay.
It's probably release date. 15th of November 2019. That is the release date.
Guys, my birthday is really close to that. Just throwing it out there.
So let you know.
Just throwing it out there. Someone clip this part and link it to the FuryBot on Twitch and to ElderDjinn on Twitch as well.
Wow.
It's man, you know what's funny? Like, I'm actually relieved to see this, like what they showed at E3. Mm-hmm. Like in the past, we've been so concerned about Jedi Fallen Order's coming out, but we don't know what it looks like. And now we do, and it looks good.
It
does. Everything about it. Just like when I saw it the first time, I was like, okay, yeah, I think I have to buy this game now. You know what I mean? Like when you see the trailer, that way, you're like, yeah, they did something right.
Yeah.
And I mean, leave it up to Respawn to actually break the mold
Yeah.
of whatever they're normally accustomed to, and doing something like this.
Heck yes.
Like
Yes.
it plays like Uncharted. It has like Dark Souls like one-on-one targeting thing, and
Yeah.
like the way you swing the lightsaber and the force powers just looks so good. Like
Yeah.
how could you say no to this? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only way so far, like, upon initial impression, I think that they could ruin this because gameplay looks solid, would be a lackluster story. But
Yeah.
if the
well,
gameplay
that's what I
feels
was about to
good,
say.
yeah, if the gameplay feels good, you could kind of forgive that, play through this, and then pray for a sequel. Pray that it does well enough that it gets a sequel. But
Yeah.
on the right track so far is my summary of this.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The gameplay loop is solid. We just got to see what's around it.
Yes.
Yes.
The polish, if you will. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, as I've said before, countless thousands of times, I would love to have something like this, but throw in a little Luke Skywalker in his prime, and I'll be set.
Ooh.
I'll be good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Though I have a feeling though that the story of Jedi Fallen Order will be somewhat in between, Order 66 and Episode 4.
No, that's
I feel like
exactly why we
that's-
see Saw
that's-
Gerrera.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, right,
'cause-
yeah.
Because
Sorry.
let me throw this up here real quick. Let me throw this up. Hold on.
Holy spoiler alert!
He dies in Rogue One.
Right,
Right.
yeah.
Yeah. And Rogue One is like what, the prequel to 4? Is it something like
Yes.
that? Yeah.
It's exactly that's the time gap it fills between
Yes.
3 and 4. So yeah, we're gonna see a lot of what I'm assuming is the rebellion here. So good stuff.
Right. Yeah.
But after this, I pray that we move on. Let's get some future timelines going. We've tackled that era enough. Let's get to post Return of the Jedi. I want to see some Luke Skywalker. All right, let's move on. Apex
between 6 and
Legends.
7. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Woo, Apex
Six and
Legends.
All right,
Oh,
Mick.
boy.
Let's head on over to Apex Legends. What do we got?
Okay, all right. So in E3 they announced season 2 of
Yes.
the whole Battle Pass season for Apex Legends. They introduced a new hero by the name of Watson. Now Watson is going to be the newest playable legend in the roster, and this is her list. This is her skills. So she basically has her attack ability is called Electric Fence, where you can build an electric fence around you to protect you from opponents.
Okay.
Another thing that she has is her ultimate, which is, I keep forgetting, it's a interception pylon, which is an ability where you drop down and it zaps projectiles. Like for example, it counters a Gibraltar ultimate where it's just a bombardment of just
What?
missiles. So if you in a small area, it will zap out those projectiles. Pretty cool. So it's a defensive hero, and they're basically, trying to make a more defensive approach to counter all those aggressive offensive ultimates that a lot of people have.
Okay.
And her passive ability is actually pretty cool, which is probably what I'm excited for, because it's rejuvenating the life of one item in the game, which is the ultimate accelerant that nobody probably uses. And
Oh,
when
you mean the
use
thing we give
Yeah,
Lifeline all the time?
yeah, my friend calls it the ultimate deodorant. So yeah, it's only Lifeline uses that most of the time. So
Right.
what's nice is that you only need one ultimate accelerant to get Watson to 100%. So that's her passive ability. So
Okay,
she's gonna be popping those ultimate accelerants like crazy. So because you only need one now.
That's awesome.
So that's pretty cool. Aside from that, they also announced all the stuff that we're gonna get in season 2, which is new skins. They featured a really cool caustic skin. I don't know the name, but he looks like a Chinese warlord or something with a mask. He looks like a Sub-Zero lookalike thing, and he looks thinner.
Okay.
So I like that. I personally,
Never mind.
this is basically them saying sorry for the lackluster season 1 premium pass that people have purchased, because I've got to be honest, as a person who actually has the premium pass, it's not as good as what you would see in Fortnite or even in PUBG. So it's nice that they're doing their best to just make up for that. So
It's still
props to
like
them.
is it me or does it still kind of feel lackluster though? Like initially, I think the season 1 battle pass fell short because they probably didn't expect it to get this popular.
Yeah.
And with the player base falling off and the fact that they still have rampant issues with hackers and all of that.
Yeah.
I know you can really tell they're trying now that they kind of caught wind of their success, but at the same time, it still kind of feels like it's missing a thing or two, in our progressive world of robust battle royales and in a Fortnite-dominated world. It feels like there's something missing. Like, hopefully that I'm hoping they pinpoint because Apex Legends is a pretty good game.
Yeah, because like to somewhat like paraphrase what Dr. Disrespect said about Apex when it first started out. Apparently, you can funnel out combats or like fights in specific areas by strategically placing loot in these specific areas. And the level design where it's just a lot of hills, a lot of mountains, but then you have an area where it's just flatlands, and then you have an area which all houses. It really like congests combat zones those specific areas, not just the whole map. You'll just encounter one person and you're dead. I mean, that does happen because it's a battle royale, but you do expect people to like drop in this specific area because this has better loot, or this area because it has better cover, which is what he liked about it. But the problem with the game is that there's still not enough loot in specific areas. Like, that's what they've been trying to remedy for the past few patches, where they basically added more supply crates in areas where where there's a high density, there's a higher chance of people dropping that there. So there's going to be a higher density of people, of challengers in that area. So I think they did mention that they will rework the map. They will constantly improve the map, the same way that Fortnite has been doing that for the past how many years. So I do hope that they figure it out, because I feel like their biggest issue is that the loot issue and hackers, of course.
Yeah. All right. Well, fingers crossed. If they do things right, Apex will still have a fairly long lifespan, and if they can get rid of the hackers, people will return to the game.
They will.
It's just a matter of time, I guess. Let's move on to something that's a little closer to my heart, just a little bit. FIFA and sports games. Volta Football is a new part in FIFA. They're trying to recapture the essence of street soccer or street football, because they emphasize that no one really grew up playing full-on regulation 11-a-side soccer unless you were part of like a team or a club, and most of the time players probably learned how to play on the streets or with their friends in short-sided games, and that's kind of what they're trying to capture with this. If you guys remember FIFA Street, which I know Mick does, they're trying to incorporate that feeling without being so arcadey, because I think what they said was, when you played FIFA Street and you like, okay, now I want to move on to the 11-a-side full version of soccer in the FIFA game, it wouldn't translate 1-to-1, because FIFA Street was an arcade game, and FIFA itself is kind of a sim. It's more of a sim, and they're trying to make sure that that doesn't happen with this next iteration, which is Volta Football. And people were getting confused as well. The press was getting confused because they kept talking about Volta as if it was a separate game. It's going to be part of FIFA 20. So that's one thing that they wanted to emphasize. Aside from that, NFL is coming back on the PC because it did well last year. Battlefield 5 though is getting an update. Mick and Elgene.
Yes.
What's happening there?
Ooh. Should I take this one?
Yeah.
All right. So Battlefield 5, just super quick, just an update. They're giving away a free patch where they will include the Pacific Theater maps, which is the Pacific Theater in World War II. Those are basically the thing, the U.S. versus Japan instances during World War II. They're recreating it, and they're letting you play it. So there's going to be a ton of new vehicles, so you can finally know what it's like to be in
a dogfight,
that amphibious vehicle when you go down. Yeah, that's pretty cool. They also added a new gun that comes along with all of these new maps in the Pacific Theater update, which is the M1 Garand, which apparently is a staple in World War II, and it was not there. I don't know why.
Exactly.
Yeah, me and Elgene were talking about this before the show. We were like, "What? That was a new gun?"
Yeah, like what's the M1 Garand not doing in a Battlefield World War II game? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's an M1 Garand not doing in a World War II game? Period. You know?
Yeah, that's true. So yeah, it will release absolutely for free for all Battlefield 5 users in
Free?
July. So free?
Did you just say EA and free in the same set?
Well, that was our initial reaction too when we found out. Oh, there's Apex Legends and it's free. It's on EA. What?
Yeah, pretty much.
Pretty much is that. Yeah.
Oh man. All right. Well, yeah, good stuff on the side of EA. Again, still not hopeful, especially since they gave us 3 hours of nothing, and the Fallen. they had that weird thing with Fallen Order that we didn't mention, where we haven't mentioned yet, where they started off in like a small room with all the people attending, and they were like, "All right, guys, this is what you're gonna get," and it's like a little trailer thing, and then, "All right, let's cut to the desk." While we funnel all those people in the small room into a bigger staging area for 10 minutes. It was
Oh man.
It was weird.
That's what Sony did last year, and it was
oh my god.
Yeah.
All right. Well, from one company we love to another, let's talk about Ubisoft, guys.
Mick's excited for this one.
Oh, I'm excited because I watched the whole thing because I couldn't sleep. So I watched. I watched last year, the year before that, and this year. Sorry, I've become somewhat of a Ubisoft fanboy.
No, man, that's all good. It's all good. So we got some Ubisoft up in here, and let's talk about the Division. I know you've played the Division, Mick, and why did the UI go weird? Why did?
Because
DZ got DC.
DZ left. Yeah, DC got DC.
Got DC.
These nuts got these cuts. I don't know. Sorry about that.
Well, that's why we have a panic room, guys. That's why we have a room that I can cut to, adjust a little bit here and there, and move on. So as I'm fixing this, guys, and I'll fix the browser in a second as well. What happened, Mick, for what are we talking about for Division 2?
Yeah, Division 2. Well, they basically mapped out. So there are two big announcements. Well, not really big announcements, but
you're
two announcements.
Crunchy. You're sounding a little crunchy to me.
I am.
Yeah. Is that just me, Elgene, or do you hear that too?
No, I hear it too.
Oh
Weird.
boy.
Did you touch yourself?
I did not touch
the
anything.
microphone?
When he disconnected, though, I mean.
I think you're okay now. Yeah, I think you're okay now.
All right. Yeah. So for Division 2, they have two announcements. One is that they mapped out the whole episode, their whole episode guide for Division 2. With the episode meaning the expansions. So episode 1, their first free expansion for year 1, is going to be in the outskirts of Washington D.C.
Okay.
It will happen in the Washington Zoo. So they're adding a new mode there. Probably a raid. They didn't go specific on it. And that's their first major update for year 1. Their episode 2 is a big raid in the Pentagon. And he the presenter basically said, imagine yourself that the world, the country's secrets are about to be broadcasted nationwide.
Which country? Which country's secrets?
Of course, America.
Oh, phew.
USA.
Thought it was our country. I was
thought it was our
country.
country.
Be exposed.
Yeah, and then it's up to you. It's up to you to reclaim the Pentagon in an epic new raid that they're probably going to release sometime later this year. And then, of course, the third and their last episode is actually, it pays homage to the first division because it's the main villain. So they have begun, it's an expansion that goes towards the hunting for that main villain. I keep forgetting his name, but
You want to Google
sorry
it?
about that.
You need a
I think it
second?
was like
You need a second?
it's like
I need a
Aiden
second to
Avengers.
Google it, but basically, they didn't give that much details to it aside from a trailer where you could see New York again. So that means Division 2 might be going back to New York. So that's just
Okay.
my
That works.
guess. So I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that because it's all free, and I'm pretty sure I speak on behalf of Sorbetes PH, who is also an avid
yes.
Division 2 fan, that it's good news. It's great news because we don't have to pay for anything for one whole year. Maybe year 2 we have to pay, but that's good. So, and then the second announcement, and they announced it right after this, is that there will be a Division movie starring Jake
So-
Gyllenhaal and
okay.
Jessica Chastain
Oh,
on Netflix.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
that's
saw
right, I
that. I
remember
saw
that.
On
that.
Netflix.
I do remember
Yeah,
that, yeah.
that's their second biggest announcement. Yeah.
That's
That's
right.
awesome.
So that's what's been happening with Division 2. So
Excellent.
also it's for
Excellent.
free. Sorry, also it's for free from June 13th to 16th.
Netflix.
Yeah. So you No, the Division 2. So you guys can play for free if you want to try it out.
I might have to try
Awesome.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also on sale. So it's also on sale in the Epic Game Store. So, if you try it for free, it's pretty cheap now. It's like $18, I think.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cheap.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, next up, guys, we've got Are we done with Ubisoft? Or do we have more?
Not
oh yeah,
yet.
we have a couple more. We have a couple more. Go on. Go on.
Oh, okay. Shall I continue, or you want to
Yes,
take this
please.
one, Elgin? Okay. Aside from
Okay,
that,
next one.
they announced a few games that are coming out soon.
Mhm.
One is Just Dance 2020. Yay! It's their 10-year anniversary of Just Dance. Woohoo!
I've always been talking about Just
for a
Dance.
minute. Yeah, Just Dance. I mean, it's popular craze. I mean, it's on time. It's in Time Zone and it's in arcades.
mean,
So
To be fair,
Pretty big.
Yeah, it's one of Emily's
Yeah.
favorite games too. Like whenever
Oh,
kids
it's
friends over, she
fun.
always
you can
always plays
record
Just
yourself.
Dance. I'm like, no thanks, I'm good.
Yeah.
Why don't you guys play like in Herald's house or something? You guys have a Just Dance stream.
I
You'd
would
probably
be
do
down
that.
for that. I would be
We'll
so
wear short
down.
shorts. We'll wear short shorts and
Oh,
tank tops.
man.
Good lord.
Hey man,
Yeah,
I'm
and-
just gonna
and
be
gym
I'm just
socks.
gonna be in
And
my
gym
compression
socks.
shorts. I'm just gonna be in my workout gear. All right.
Oh, dear.
Yeah,
Oh,
there you
dear.
go. The Quit Street
That's-
Boys.
The Quit Street.
Oh, oh man,
Yeah, the
it's still gonna
Quit
be
Street
QS. The QS
QS.
one. Oh.
Yeah.
You better be
Yeah.
ready. ESGS 2019. Quit Street Boys are coming.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes,
All
genius.
right.
Yeah.
All right.
Aside from Just Dance 2020, they also announced a new franchise called Roller Champions. So
Oh,
just
yeah.
picture this. It's hard to explain. So picture this. Imagine
Wait,
Lucy.
you don't have to picture it if you're watching the video feed.
Just
in a
show.
second.
Just show the
Wait,
video.
no, but
feed.
tell them, Mick, for
Yeah,
the
it's
audio
based,
people.
imagine Rocket League and Lucio Ball. They're almost the same thing, and mix it with NFL
and the
American football.
roller derby.
and the roller derby, and,
And the
that
roller
and
derby.
you get roller champions.
I gotta say, guys, I watched the
Interesting.
trailer. Yeah, I watched the trailer before we started the show, before we started the stream, and the trailer is pretty hype. Okay, the music is on point. The hard cuts and the angles that they're using are absolutely beautiful. I think this is Ubisoft saying, let's make an esport and let's try and
Yeah.
make it as easy to follow as possible.
Yeah, I think that this will. I don't know. I wouldn't know. I think this would appeal to the Rocket League fanatics out there, or the Lucio Ball fans from Overwatch. This would be a very good fit for them.
It looks
It's
fun. I'm gonna
Yeah,
admit,
it
like
does, it does.
it looks like something I wouldn't mind trying.
Oh, wait,
Is
there's
what
a
I'm
demo
gonna
out
say.
already?
Yes, there is a demo out.
Yeah,
You can
gotta
play
visit
it
their
now.
website, guys.
Yeah. So if you guys like that, then you'll probably love the fact that there is no Assassin's Creed announcement from E3. Yay! First time.
Someone's
I'm
way too happy about that.
Yeah, I'm so. Hey, I'm an Assassin's Creed fan, but I'm so happy for them that they did not announce any Assassin's Creed, and
Yeah,
the
yeah.
reason why is because the developers of Assassin's Creed Odyssey have been put into a new IP that they previewed. It's called Gods and Monsters. It's absolutely wonderful. It looks so nice. It's Greek mythology meets Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, and of course in a different art style. But it looks good. It looks interesting because it's something new from Ubisoft. So we might get a God War-esque Breath of Wild-esque Greek mythology RPG. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and you know, from what I've seen, it looked pretty cool too.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't seen very much on Ubisoft's content, but that
And
was one of the more interesting ones.
yeah, it was more of the interesting ones. But there's something that, you know, while Herald is stepped out for a bit, I really want to, like, I saved this one, the best for last, because the thing is, this one is the interesting one because this is part of their existing titles. So it's basically the newest installment of their Watch Dogs franchise, which is Watch Dogs Legion. And they actually started the UBE3 conference with the big showcase of how, you know, you can recruit anyone and everything. So sorry, it's Watch Dogs Legion. There we go.
Yes.
Yeah,
Watch Dogs
I forgot to
Legion,
mention it. Yeah, the newest one. What are your thoughts on this though?
I thought you were gonna say, oh, you know, it's one of those established franchises. You know, like someone said in the chat, Bad Grandma Simulator. Like, it's like
Bad Grandma Simulator.
Thanks to Ironhammer Stream, by the way. But yeah, I mean, Watch Dogs Legion looks like the most interesting thing that came out of Ubisoft's press conference.
And I want to...
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, which is saying something, because usually a lot of the stuff they come out with is like, this shit again, you know what I mean? But Legion looks actually interesting, you know, something different. So I'm excited for it, personally.
Yeah, I actually want to ask you guys this question. It's been burning in my head because while I was watching that conference, the presenter basically said that they've been working hard on making this a really good experience where you can recruit anyone, and anyone here in this game has a different origin story, has a different voice actor from the other one, so you can recruit literally anybody in the game, any NPC in the game, and become a playable character. I am a little iffy about that, so I want to get your thoughts on it. Do you feel like it's something fishy because it's like they're cutting corners? They're gonna probably cut corners.
It's ambitious, like without a doubt, very ambitious. And if pulled off correctly, it's going to be awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But again, this is only, and here's the other thing: it's only a trailer, so we can't really verify. You know, like we can't verify their claims if it's going to make it good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if they pull it off, this is probably going to be one of the more realized open world that we've seen in the video game. Just out of the, you know, just out of the sheer volume of character that, you know, that comes from the NPCs, which, like what Zilfox is saying, doesn't really make them NPCs, and makes them something a little bit. Yeah. So.
But if you don't recruit them, they're NPCs.
They're NPCs. Yeah, they remain.
You just leave them alone. Leave them alone on the side. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I understand your skepticism. Like, this is a lot to basically show off and say, we got this, guys. We've never seen anything of its kind before, but it's good to see Ubisoft taking risks because, like I said, past Ubisoft conferences have been this shit again. You know what I mean? And that's why Legions is so interesting, you know?
And that's also why this kind of feels too good to be true. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah. I understand the skepticism. Yeah.
Yeah, because, you know, it's not as ambitious as saying this Fallout will run 16 times smoother than previous Fallouts, but it's still pretty ambitious, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's like something like this, again, has never been done as far as we know, and especially on this scale. So it's going to be super interesting. And if they do it right, it could get a lot of people who had never looked at Watch Dogs to actually look at it and maybe get into it.
Right.
This is, oh damn! He just kicked him in the nuts. Now we're fighting. Okay, I'm sorry.
It's weird. I mean, I think the biggest problem here that they'll encounter is that if they focus so much on the whole you can recruit anyone here, it might give us a lackluster story or a small map that it won't be like the big open world thing that they're trying to show off here.
Yes.
So that might be the you know, the bad part about doing this kind of concept. But yeah, I guess you guys are right. Maybe props to them for doing something very ambitious like this.
Yeah, exactly. So
They
let's see
need
how
to
it
get
turns
of their
out.
comfort zone.
Yeah, let's see how it turns out. Because hopefully it does turn out well, and hopefully it leaves the world still pretty big. You know, like if it's at least Vice City big, I'd be okay with it. You know, because Vice City isn't the biggest, but it feels large enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Mean streets
basically
of
London GTA.
Yeah, that'd be super
like we
cool.
were talking about last time.
Oh yeah.
Oh right, yeah.
All right, now we're getting somewhere.
Nice.
Yeah. Mikupi in the chat earlier was asking if the past past Watchdog games were any good. Were the past Watchdog games any good?
So the first one was a janky mess.
Okay.
The second one was a lot better, and a lot of people liked it, but it still didn't like break Assassin's Creed level popularity.
Yeah.
Okay.
But to answer your question, generally, just you can skip the first one. The second one is pretty good. Yeah.
Okay.
Because Watch Dogs 1 was basically an overhyped hype train that really just came out as your usual game. People thought it would be like, oh, this is the future of video games. And when it finally released, wow, it's just like every other game we played before.
Okay.
Watch Dogs was a product of Ubisoft at the time.
Yeah.
It came out the same time as like Unity and those games were just being thrown out the door and everything was Watch Dogs was pretty bad about that too. Like falling through the map while you're driving, that sort of thing. Things that should not be in a video.
No. She's just falling.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, so, and the guys in the chat are also giving great insight. We don't want to bloat the time too much, so yeah, if you're watching live right now, I recommend you guys check out the chat. If not, watch the VOD, watch the highlight of this. But moving on, guys, Ubisoft's launcher service, their game hosting service is launching a streaming service. It's going to be called Uplay Plus, and we got a couple of details. It's going to release September 2019, of course on PC, and I don't have much more to say about it. What do you guys? Have
it's going to release in Stadia by 2020.
Okay.
Yeah. Unlimited amount of Ubisoft games in their library, so that's pretty cool.
This is very difficult to talk about because none of us have really experienced the streaming service. We don't know exactly what it's like. Stadia.
Oh, I have EA Origin.
Oh, you have?
Yeah, EA Origin.
Well, EA Origin. Okay, fine. But
that's a streaming service, technically.
You can play on your phone.
Oh no, I haven't.
It's different. Yeah.
That's what they're doing with that one. I mean, Uplay Plus is basically not only is it the streaming service, but it's also the whole how Origin Premiere is or the Xbox Game Pass where you pay extra per month. You get a bunch of games.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Uplay Plus is on top of the streaming service, which is what Stadia is doing, where you can, just if you have a 5G phone, you can play games that are on the cloud.
Yes.
Through your Uplay account, something like that.
Pretty cool.
And like I said, it's kind of hard to talk about because none of us have really experienced that. You know what I mean? And it's still an emerging technology that I'm kind of skeptical about for now. But again, wait 5 years and maybe I'll be singing a different tune.
Exactly.
Maybe.
Exactly.
But that's the general push. From E3 alone, we can see that's the general push of the gaming industry. It's heading towards that streaming service. So we're going to be seeing a lot more of that in the years, to be sure.
Because if mobile gaming has taught us anything, is people love accessibility. People love the fact that you can take games anywhere. All right, Shill Fox said Ustream is already taken. That's why they had to go with Uplay.
True.
That's so true. That's so true. All right, let's get to the next heavy hitter, guys. Square Enix had a sort of pretty, they had pretty anticipated games in their presentation.
Man. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I'm just watching this and I'm like, this is super exciting for me. Final Fantasy VII, ladies and gentlemen, getting its remake. And The nostalgia in me is just like I just feel so much elation. This is one of the first PlayStation 1 titles that it's the first Final Fantasy I think most of us have ever owned. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you had a PlayStation, this was probably one of the games you owned. And,
you know what a Buster Sword is, pretty much.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you know what a Buster Sword is. You know what a Midgard is. You know what Materia is.
Yeah.
This and it looks awesome. I mean, just look at this game.
Yeah.
And
I want to comment on that real quick because it looks fantastic, right? It looks amazing. It looks absolutely breathtaking. And we grew up in an era where we would say, especially with Final Fantasy VIII, where we would say, imagine if the game actually had graphics like that. And when you see this, when you see the gameplay of this, it surpasses the cinematics that we were pining for back in the day.
Right.
It far surpasses what passed for cinematics back then, what they actually had to cut up and make into a VCD or a DVD released Final Fantasy VIII movie. This looks so good, and I'm actually way more stunned by that than anything else with this game. And you know, there's a lot to love about this game because, come on, the fact that they took the risk and changed up how you actually play the game.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it looks great. You know, a lot of people that would be the first thing you would question is why. And I'm sure there were a lot of people that did that. But at the same time, how could you not want this? Look at. I'm sorry for the audio listeners because
it looks so good.
We're playing the gameplay right now, and it's just so pretty.
Yeah.
Good lord.
I swear, like when I saw the because later on they showed gameplay of them fighting one of the first bosses in the game, the scorpion, the robot scorpion boss.
Yeah.
And not only was like, you know, the fighting like really pretty to look at, but the environmental effects that were taking place while the scorpion thing was messing up the reactor inside.
Yeah.
You know, the fire and the debris everywhere. It just it felt so immersive just on the graphical fidelity alone. I mean, look at this. Yeah, this is the scene right here.
Look at that.
You know,
wow.
It's just
who has the chips in the background?
I don't.
Oh, sorry, that's me. My bad.
But
that's like.
But yeah, like when I saw the trailer, I was like, yeah, I have. Like, it's a good thing. Well, it's a bad thing that it's a little bit before my wedding. So I'm like, crap, I can't buy it on day one or play it. But still, like, it's
gonna be there for you, waiting.
Yeah.
It's gonna be
pretty
so
much
good
afterward. But yeah. Oh, I can't wait to...
It is so nice. And you know, Mick, do you have anything to say about 7 before I get to the next Final Fantasy thing we're talking about?
I've waited all this time just to see this, and I'm finally getting it.
It's
and
so
I'm excited.
Good.
I just
so nice.
hope it's not episodal. I
hope
that it's the full game on release, so I don't have to wait another few years for the next installment. I want to finish that whole game in one go. One sit. Well, not really one sitting. Like, just I want that one game. I want to pay that much for that game.
I hear you.
Like one payment. I'm excited for it. Props to them.
Yeah. I mean, I just hope it's actually good. You know what I mean? Just based on what we see, like, it's exactly everything we wanted. At least that's what it seems like. But it still remains to be seen if it actually is exactly.
Yeah. We'll see. And again,
next year,
like everything that we should expect from an E3, it looks like it's on the right track.
Exactly.
You know, we're supposed to see things that are on the right track at E3. They're supposed to show us gameplay footage that gets us hyped and gets us excited and doesn't actually make us question the game. And they're on the right track. Is I think the theme of this, and good stuff. Very good stuff. It actually got me thinking because we're getting gosh dang it, I keep cutting to the wrong one. We're getting a Final Fantasy VIII remastered, right? We're getting 8 adapted for modern screens, modern hardware, and you don't need an emulator. honestly, after seeing 7's remake, I was like, skip the remaster. Just give me the remake in a couple of years.
True. We don't mind waiting
back in
another
5
decade
years.
for that. Just
Right?
make sure it's 8. Just
Like,
make sure it's
announce
8,
it
and then-
now.
yeah.
Like tell us
Because-
we're getting 8 in 10 years, and I'll be like, yeah, screw remastered. Spend all your time there.
Just do the remake. No matter. It's just like
Yeah.
5 years.
It's
Yeah.
funny because like if they did that with 8, I'm reasonably sure Mick and I will pick this one up. Because
Oh yeah, dude.
yeah, FF8 has a special place in our hearts because that's the game we
Yeah.
kind of like bonded over for kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh,
Exactly.
wow.
The only thing
Yeah,
we
so-
practically talked about. And Worms Armageddon.
And Worms Armageddon, yeah. Like
Yeah.
he
Oh,
literally came to my
man.
house, you know.
Worms
Hey,
Armageddon,
Final
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Worms Armageddon. That's all we played in his house back in.
So
Like-
I can't wait for that
Throwback.
too.
Yeah.
That's a
Dude, me too.
throwback, man.
And to
Worms
think, I
Armageddon.
bought the game on Steam, and they're gonna
FF8.
announce a remaster. I have to spend again.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But that's the thing, right? Is they could have just skipped it and
Could have
went
skipped it entirely.
straight for the remake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, or make
And-
Final Fantasy 16, right? Like,
But I think
Oh,
that's just a testament to how well they handle this, how well they handled the remake of 7. It
Right.
makes us want more and not not question the fact that they did it. And
Yeah.
right.
you can't ask for more than that. You really can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also shows you that the PlayStation era Final Fantasies really survived the test of time.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
they're still equally relevant in this day and age, and how everyone's really willing to, give them money hand over fist just for, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Yeah.
not only are they making the remake, they're making the remake amazing. It's just a perfect storm, as far as like nostalgia is concerned.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Miko P
I
in the
just-
chat says, this is the one game they can't mess up, so they have to make it right.
Oh yes, absolutely cannot.
Because it will set the tone. It'll set the tone.
It will. It will.
Mm.
Yeah. Go.
This remake just answers the question: which is the better FF, 7 or 10?
I mean, it has 7 is older, yet it's still as relevant as it is today.
Yeah, because 10 is good. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, it's the second best story in all of Final Fantasies. Fight me
Yeah.
if you're gonna fight me for that. But,
But
yeah,
give it 20 years
7,
and Final
7.
Fantasy X remake, we might be singing a different tune.
Yeah.
no, I probably would. Not the shit on it. Sorry, but no, I'm not.
You're not.
I'd probably be super. I'll probably have. I'll probably lose my mind when they do a remake of 8. Honestly.
Yeah. Remake.
But
Yeah.
because 10 is a good story, it's also sad. But 7 was just.
Yeah. Shill Fox in the chat said they already have the HD models for Squall and the gang from other games. Oh, that's
Yes,
interesting.
exactly.
Yes. It's true.
And then Miko P
Kingdom Hearts.
says, "Oh yeah, yeah." Miko P says they'll remake 8 when they need money and have to please investors.
Yes.
It's
they do.
true.
Oh, man. And Shill Fox was asking you guys, what number will the next MMO be?
Probably right now,
17.
FF14 is doing really well. I mean,
Mhm.
they have a new expansion coming out called Shadowbringers. They finally brought in a Gunblade class.
Yes.
Okay,
The Gun-
so that's pretty cool. Gunbreakers.
What's it called? The Gunbreakers? Yeah.
I think Gunbreaker. Yeah,
About
it's
dang
basically
time.
you can play a Squall in Final Fantasy 14, so it's pretty
It's about
exciting.
time.
Which is
I'm surprised it
funny
didn't
'cause-
launch with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's funny because you could actually play a machine, find a gun. You're still gonna be Squall, sort of.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
You're still gonna be Squall.
It's
Um,
in comparison, man. It's like World of Warcraft finally getting Demon Hunters. Like, why didn't you launch with this? Yeah. Like,
The
it's-
upright orcs? Did you say upright orcs? Are you cut off? I didn't hear you. Sorry.
Oh no, I said it's like WoW launching with Demon Hunters. Like
Oh.
why did it take so
Yes.
long?
I thought you
know,
said
like-
upright orcs because I would have said, yeah. Why didn't they launch with upright orcs? I mean, it's like all of them have osteoporosis. What?
they had
What's
it
wrong?
in the game already, so why not?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Shill Fox is asking, is saying we could play as Squall_998. Yeah, like every night elf on World of Warcraft's launch was low Legolas or Legolas XXXXXX. Like, yeah.
Oh God.
Legolas.
Legolas.
Every one elf.
Oh man. All right,
Oh.
let's move on from Final Fantasy and get to Marvel's Avengers.
Marvel's Avengers.
Avengers!
Yes.
Uh,
Like,
yeah, you guys go
uh,
first. You guys go first.
yeah, I was gonna say, I'm excited for this one personally. It looks good. It's made by Eidos Montreal and Crystal Dynamics, basically the guys behind Deus
Crystal
Ex
Dynamics,
and
yeah.
Tomb Raider. The new
Yes,
Tomb Raider.
they've done every Tomb Raider forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
The game looks really, really nice, you know? What I'm worried about is we're still not 100% sure what the game is.
Yeah, there's no gameplay.
Or at
Unless
least the
this
gameplay
is
is very
gameplay.
minimal. Like,
Oh, yeah.
there's gonna be like one scene where Iron Man is flying through the sky and it looks like gameplay, and it's funny because it looks a lot like Anthem.
Yeah.
So, I'm getting Anthem vibes from this trailer.
Did you get
Yeah.
a new gun?
You know, oh god. I don't
Here
think
we go
I
again.
Yeah, that right
Oh, there,
So
that's the one. That's the one. Yeah,
that looked very suspiciously Anthem-like.
yeah.
But anyway, so
Yeah.
yeah, I hope it doesn't turn out to be like Anthem. You know what I mean? Where
Yes.
they're alluding to new characters in the future, new
We saw
new
Hank
stuff
Pym,
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hank Pym was shown at the end there.
the original Ant-Man.
It's so I'm wondering if it's going to be like how Anthem does it, where you can switch characters on the fly, level them up individually, and then
If you're playing single
you
player,
know, play the single player content that way. But anyway, what worried me about this whole thing was we know next to nothing about what this game is
Yeah.
exactly. But at the end of it, they talked about the monetization, how the game's going to be monetized. Of course they were saying stuff like, yeah, no loot boxes, everything's going to be free, like all the new heroes are going to be free.
yeah.
But
And
why
all the
talk
all the
about
extra areas, which they refer to as regions, would be free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the question is, why talk about that when we know next to nothing about the game? So I'm like, that got me a little worried, if we're
Mhm.
being fair here.
Yeah.
But still, the game looks impressive, and if it plays just how it looks, yeah, I think I'd be down for something like this. It looks fine to me. I like it. I like how the game looks. Again, I'm just worried.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. My initial thoughts on this were, or pretty much, was that I was whelmed. Because I was expecting a lot from this because it's Square and it's the Avengers, because everyone's on that Avengers hype right now, especially me. I want this to be the game I always wanted the Avengers game to be, because we never got it. We've had Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which serves its purpose. But this is, a different point of view. This is a different type of game. It feels like sort of the action slasher game that we've been looking for, that isn't Marvel Ultimate Alliance, and we're focusing on the Avengers and their what looks like their slightly large roster. We start off with Captain America, Iron Man, Hulk, Black Widow, and Thor. Very solid components. We saw we're gonna get Hank Pym, and of course we're likely to get Hawkeye. They've hinted at working with Sony to bring us content that we'll enjoy, which I took as we're gonna give you Spider-Man, but with his PS4 Spider-Man skin. That's all I got from that, right? Which makes sense, because you would give the people who play on PlayStation a little bonus, you'd give him that suit. And I was very whelmed, not because of partially because of what I saw. The models of the heroes of the Avengers sort of took me out of it, because they don't look like the MCU model, the MCU actors that we've come to know and love already at this point. Partially because the voice actors don't seem to match how they look exactly how I wanted them to. Although it's an all-star cast. You got Nolan North, you have Laura Bailey. These guys are
Laura Bailey.
Yeah, these guys are all amazing voice actors. There's just something about it that has me not underwhelmed, not overwhelmed, just whelmed. I'm okay with this, and I want it to be blown away. But I
Right.
also understand that it's early, and there's probably a reason why they're not giving us too many details. They're probably working on it as they go along, and they are releasing this. When is it, Nick? 2020?
I think 2020. Yeah.
Yeah.
The release was,
Yeah.
There's going to be
set for
beta.
2020.
Yeah, there's going to be a beta this year, though. So, I mean,
Yeah,
you
there's
can
gonna be a
always try
beta
it
this
out.
year.
Yeah.
Hold on, let
Yeah,
me look
a
for the
little
exact
taste.
date.
Just a
Look
little
for the exact-
taste.
We're getting it May 15th, so we're a year away. So there's a lot of time for them to give us the info. And I'm sort of glad that they're not telling us, this is what's happening a year from now. Because we have that, we've been given that like how many years now. And it's kind of deflating when you have to wait a year after all the hype. So I kind of get it as well. So
Yeah.
hopefully they're pacing it properly. But, Elgin and Mikopi, you guys do bring up a good point that when you talk about monetization this early, it's a bit of a red flag. But I also think they're just trying to get people hyped behind them because it is such an issue right now. And, you can see it on both sides. And I think we just have to wait and see. But it is kind of concerning. It is kind of concerning.
Right.
And,
Well,
yeah.
this may be their first time announcing it. I mean, if you gave hints, if they gave hints to the like media outlets about, oh, we're releasing this Avengers game and it's completely free. There's no monetizations or anything, microtransactions or anything. Everything will be free. Then maybe they could have gotten away with that kind of presentation. But I feel like they're just worried that people might be like, oh, it's a good looking game. It might, but I kind of don't like how they look like. Can I just get new skins for them or something like that?
Yeah.
And then they'll
Yeah.
be, oh no, how much will they cost? Oh, it's
That's
probably gonna cost a
probably
fortune.
Yeah, because they emphasize no random loot boxes. They didn't say no loot boxes.
Ooh.
They didn't say no microtransactions. They said no
No
random
random-
loot boxes and no fees for heroes and region. So yeah,
Wow.
they could find a way to monetize it that way. That's a very good point, especially that ties in with what Elgin said. And going in a chat real quick, I know you guys have something to say about that. Shellfox says, I think legal has to deal with physical likeness if it's too close to, like Robert Downey Jr. looking like Iron Man.
True.
That's absolutely true. That's absolutely
True.
true. It's just that I don't think that the character designs match the voices as much as I wanted them to. But that just
Right.
that might just be me. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
That's prob-
So yeah.
Probably nitpicking or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I might just be
Yeah.
nitpicking. But yeah, I know you guys wanted to say something about the microtransactions.
Well, I mean, I think Mick was onto something when he said, if the designs aren't going to look that great, I mean, there's going to be alternatives, and that's primarily, I think, where they're going to monetize.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They're going to sell skins for the character.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but I just want everybody to realize this is a full price game where you get to pay more money for stuff.
That's
still,
true.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
that's why they tried to go the easy route where everything's free. We're not gonna
Right.
do any of that microtransaction stuff. So
Mhm. I mean,
Yeah.
if it were like if the the game was a free to play game, fine.
Yeah.
I suppose there's nothing wrong with it.
Mhm.
But like I said, it's probably going to be a full price game, just like anything else Square Enix has released. I don't think Square Enix has released anything free to play. I think
have they? I'm not.
besides their mobile games, I guess. But
Probably their mobile games. Yeah.
yeah, like I don't think there's been a release from Square Enix. Even their MMO, even 14 is you have to buy the game and then you have to pay the subscription too. Like
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Fun fact though, in the trailer you'll actually see one of the villains there in that trailer. That's actually Taskmaster.
Oh yeah,
okay.
yeah. The skull faced.
that's Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Skullface dude is
I
Taskmaster.
thought it was Crossbones or
No. Crossbones has the shocker gauntlets.
Yeah, he has
the
a
shocker
gun.
gauntlets, but he also has like a mask.
That
too,
mask.
but-
yeah.
yeah, if it's
Similar.
Taskmaster, cool. I love Taskmaster.
Yeah.
Because the Taskmaster, because if you look at the mask actually looks like it actually has the form of a skull. So it kind of
Oh.
gave away the whole. It's probably Taskmaster because Crossbones is normally the one with the white on his face, right? The white on his mask.
Yeah.
And it looks
Yeah.
like it also looks like a
Little
skull, but
Punisher-y.
it looks more like a Punisher-ish. Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Form of a dragon. All right.
Yeah.
Shout out to Urim in the chat. Hey,
Shout
buddy,
out.
how you doing? Welcome to
up.
the show. We're going through a lot of E3 stuff right now, and I'm trying to look for it on this video, but we saw earlier as well where it looked like an Iron Man suit, but in silver and gold.
Yeah,
So
it's
like
a
that
space
could
suit,
yeah, that could be like one of those alternative skins that you were mentioning earlier. So
Right.
yeah, I wouldn't put it past them, and I would, man, as much as I hate to say it, I would pay for like a future Foundation Spider-Man suit. Like I would be one of those suckers that would pay for it, admittedly, and
Yeah.
they know.
Was
Yeah,
it
you're right.
They know.
And I'd probably pay for a Star Killer. Wait, is it Star Killer or God Killer? The armor of the space suit of Iron Man. I'd
I think it is God
that.
Killer. Yeah,
God Killer.
Star
God
Killer
Slayer.
would be in the Force Unleashed, and of course the
Force
the
Unleashed.
base.
There we go. Yeah,
And the
that's
base.
what I was thinking of.
Yeah, but yeah, Marvel's
Thanks.
Avengers, a lot of potential that I'm pretty sure every person who's seen any of the MCU movies is just hoping they don't mess up. I think that's I think that's pretty much what's happening here, because again, they've been so afraid to tackle the Avengers in a video game because you got to do it right, and
Yep.
we've had projects canceled before. Yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Uh,
But real talk though about that one, we're all geeking out about it. We're just kind of concerned. That's all.
Yes,
Yeah.
You know?
yes, because we want it to be good. We really want
Yeah.
it to be good.
We really want it to be
Yeah,
good.
we do.
Yeah.
Amen to
Yeah, and in the last parts of Square Enix, they had a pretty decently long panel, I guess you could call it, where they show a lot of trailers for the games, in and out, up until the Final Fantasy part and the Marvel's Avengers part, where they brought people out. They're porting a lot of their Japanese games to the West. They showed us what I think is a new Dragon Quest game, or two new Dragon Quest games. One is a sequel to Builders, and then
Yes.
another one which is I think the next installment in the Dragon Quest saga.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Square Enix has always been killing it in Japan, and there's no reason for them to be afraid to bring those games over at this point.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
We live
mean,
in
there
a
is a
global
West-
world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, there is an audience here for like the Secret of Mana games or the Mana games, if you.
Yeah.
That was one of the things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's not beat around the bush here. Yeah. But for real though, I mean, yeah, the Mana games are. So yeah, there's that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And going back to Marvel real quick, Shill Fox in the chat saying, we all have that one favorite hero we'll throw out money for, and that's so true. And they
True.
know it. They know it.
Yep.
You can give us Mark 1 to 50 of Iron Man's armors, and they could look sort of similar, and you'll still buy every single one of those if you're an Iron Man fan.
Yeah.
Like, and you want to show off to your friends, right? Because there is online co-op for it. There is up to 4 people can play multiplayer online. You want to be like, hey, is that a new gun? No, you want to be like, hey,
Hey, is that a new gun? Did you get a
Hey,
new gun?
you have the what's it called? What's the Hulkbuster armor, or you have this
Yeah.
and that. You have Cap looking like Bucky when he was Cap. Like this is all that stuff that they have potential for, and we would eat that up. Like, oh, it looks like Ultimate Thor.
Absolutely.
Like, hell yes. Shill Fox, I bought that stupid Star-Lord skin in Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite. Oh no.
Oh, man.
no.
Get in line, Zil Fox. That happened to me last year. I bought the Mercedes-Benz McLaren skin for Rocket League. I stopped playing Rocket League for like 2 years already.
Oh,
Man. That's how they
It
get
just
you.
looks so good. Yeah, it
Yeah,
gets you. It really
yeah.
does get you.
That's money you're not getting back. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, it was only $1, so it's fine. I only paid $1 for it, so I'm
That's a
good.
hash brown.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still
Yeah,
a super easy cash grab.
It
Definitely.
is, but
Yeah.
it's also a hash brown, which probably.
Oh right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
ElderDjinn putting things into perspective here on GameByte. That's why we
saying.
have you on. That's why we have you on.
Damn
All
it.
right, you're-
He's right.
And now we move on to Nintendo, guys. Nintendo Direct had a lot of stuff to talk about. We of course got news for Animal Crossing,
Yes.
You know, with the larger fan base they got from the mobile game, you know, why not capitalize on it? So we're getting more
Yes.
Animal Crossing, and I think the release date was pushed back, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was because they wanted to make it better, which is fine. Nintendo,
Yeah.
whenever Nintendo does that, we're like, okay,
It's
you do
fine.
that, you know?
The track
Yeah, look
record,
at-
you know.
Yeah, look at how
Pretty good.
Breath of the Wild turned. Yeah, we're good.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Definitely. So it's Animal Crossing New Horizons. It was supposed to come out this year, right? Wait, New Horizons.
No, it's next year.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
now
they
it's
pushed it back to
March
next year.
20, 2020. So they pushed it back a couple of months. And, you know, they were very honest about it. And I think when a developer is honest about why they push it back, now we're in a world where we find it endearing and we actually understand where we're...
Yes.
You know, the player base is becoming smarter to these things and becoming more aware of working conditions and the fact that development to get it out right and you know, it takes time, and we're more forgiving nowadays. So
Exactly. Yes.
no better time to do it. Aside from Animal Crossing, we also got to look at, man, I got. Can I say that the Banjo-Kazooie reveal in this made me want a Donkey Kong game? Like I thought we were getting a new Donkey Kong game. And I was like
a Donkey Kong. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was like, there's no better time for it. Let's skip to it. See this? You got King K. Rool, you got Diddy, and you got Donkey Kong, you got DK. Just on screen, it reminded me of the cartoon of the 3D animated show before,
Yeah.
and I was like, are we getting a new Donkey Kong game? It's about time. Because I was watching this, and I was telling the people around me, I was like, it's about time. And yeah, it's Banjo-Kazooie. And we got to look at the dog from, what's it called? What's the shooting game? Duck Hunt. Yeah, we got
Duck
Duck Hunt dog. And then, no, it really is Banjo-Kazooie. Just kidding. Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, great for the Smash community.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Like
Big,
everybody's
big
been
thing.
waiting for Banjo-Kazooie to show up as one of the roster members, because
Yeah.
I mean he's one of the quintessential Nintendo 64 characters, right?
Yes.
So it's about time he showed up. It's been ages since he's been a part of Nintendo's cast of characters that he's just a shoo-in. He just has to be in Super Smash Brothers, right?
Yeah, I
But
mean,
of course,
Exactly.
yeah, they just had to get the license from Rare to do so.
yeah.
Mhm. And they
Yeah.
finally got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny because Emily and I were talking about this the other day, and my theory on this is, because Rare did so poorly with Sea of Thieves, that they're like, how are we going to make some money? And then Nintendo's, you could always get Banjo-Kazooie, and they're like, damn it, all right, fine.
Here you go. Here you go.
Here you go, just take him, just give me your money,
Yeah.
But yeah,
Man, yeah, so...
excited.
Yeah, it's good. It's great for the Smash community. It's just that could they have found a way to present Banjo-Kazooie without making us want a Donkey Kong game, or was it all planned from the beginning?
Or
Was it all
were they
planned?
hinting a new Donkey Kong game
Yeah.
through
I
that
mean,
trailer?
I
You
would
just
not
have to
say
ask
no.
Rare.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did it, though.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well.
I mean, if Rare,
Oh yeah. No. Sorry. Go on.
I was gonna say, if Rare and Nintendo work together,
Oh
Cool.
yeah.
Yep.
but they're owned by Microsoft, so
Eh.
Yeah.
Nah.
Anyway.
Anyway, Luigi's Mansion 3 is also something that they played up
Ooh.
here at E3.
Wow.
I have not
Yeah.
been able to play any of the Luigi's Mansion games, but I have
Same.
watched them on Twitch, and
Yeah.
it looks like a fun game. It looks like one of
Yeah.
those games that I actually would have loved if I had Luigi's Mansion, but I wouldn't go out of my way to get it. But if I had it, I would definitely play it. It looks super fun. They're mixing... so it's kind of like the whole Ghostbusters theme. They've actually taken a mechanic from the most recent Ghostbusters game that everyone says is the spiritual successor to the movies and is getting remastered itself, where you can actually slam the ghosts. And I think Luigi's about to do it on screen if you guys are watching. No, he's not, but if you guys... Oh, it looks... it looks so weird.
Oh my.
But yeah, so you can actually slam the ghost
That
on the
looks
ground,
colorful.
which makes it easier for you to catch the ghosts. And yeah, like Luigi's. There it is.
Oh,
Alright,
there we
it's
go.
on
There's a
screen.
slam.
Oh,
Slam.
ghosts.
Yeah. So.
Oh.
Yeah. Poor ghosts, man.
Luigi's Mansion X WWE.
Oh my
I
God.
can see it. I can see it now. It's
Yeah,
a floating Hulk Hogan ghost.
But let's be honest, guys. We can talk about Luigi's Mansion all we want, but there was a star here that we were all waiting to see.
Of course.
Pokemon Sword and Shield, guys. We got a bigger look, a longer look at Sword and Shield's wild area.
Wow.
This zone where we'll be adventuring around like Link in The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, catching Pokemon, whistling at them and hollering at them and telling them, "Yoo-hoo! Come to my Pokeball!" And I got super excited. I'm not gonna lie.
I was gonna say that's like
It's
no
like cat call.
Pokemon trainer has ever sounded like that.
Well, get ready for Herald Plays Pokemon Sword.
Pokemon Sword or Shield.
I'm gonna RP the crap out of this. All right.
Oh God, no!
Excuse me there, young Caterpie. I would love it if
Yoo-hoo!
you join me.
Young Butterfree up in the tree.
Come
No,
here,
But the Galar region looks amazing. It's
Yeah.
based off of the British Isles. I think specifically the Scottish Isles, which I guess aren't part of the British Isles. But like it looks great. It looks super nice, and I think Nintendo finally listened to what we wanted in a Pokemon game, where we could actually explore in this 3D type of world with a moving camera. Yes, Sun and Moon was the first step to that, because we got more of a 3D world in Sun and Moon, and I guess X and Y as well. But this is the level we were looking for. This is what I was actually asking for when we were talking about Breath of the Wild on the show before, and I actually can't ask for more. This is, well, I can't ask for more, but then I'd be crazy. But this is what I wanted, and I'm glad that they're finally giving it to us. Yeah. They're giving us Pokemon Godzilla's Pokemon Kaiju in the form of their new raids and in the form of their new battle system, which I'm blanking on right now. I'm gonna bring it up on my browser real quick. What's it called again? Pokemon. Gosh, my gosh. What is it? What is it, Mick?
The new Pokemon fight system?
Yeah, the big one.
I don't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
struggling to remember. So, chat,
I saw
hook us up.
one.
Dynamax! Thank you, Sofox.
Yeah.
Dynamax! And raids. Because they look amazing. Let me see if I can find it in the footage real quick. But yeah, it looks super good. But yeah, the wild area looks amazing. You can run around there. You can actually have your friends go into the same wild area, and you guys can explore, trade items with each other. As you could see here, one of your friends, one of the players' friends, gave them a pack of potatoes. All right.
Oh my God!
Potatoes?
And let me give you a shot of the old Dynamax Red. Yes, the giant Steelix in the distance there. So you can form a raid up to 4, I think, and just go nuts, just go ham on it, and you guys can all catch it for the group once you've weakened it enough. There are mechanics where these raids actually have the Pokemon pull up a shield that you have to break down. It's a different kind of Pokemon that you can see sort of spin off of Pokemon Go, but at the same time it's its own thing. So I'm actually looking forward to this, and they're changing it up. As much as people joke that Pokemon is the same game every year, it's actually evolved quite a bit, and that there's no pun intended in that.
I see what you did there.
Maybe I meant it.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Ooh, good job. Now I just got it because you guys reacted.
And it has an amazing stadium where the PvP happens, and it's really getting there. It's really getting to the level of Pokemon that we wanted when we first saw Pokemon Stadium, the game.
Yeah.
So, Miku P in the chat says this game needs a World Championship Series, and Pokemon has its tournaments, but it's never been this visually spectacular. And I think we're getting to that level, and Pokemon has a lot of potential to become an esport.
It should become an esport.
It should, right? These guys are correct. Miko P and Shellfox in the chat. I think we're getting there, but it's a little too slow. And I would love to see like the high end meta where you have the super strongs and the ultras, and all those categories that Smogon has. And I would be so down to see that as an esport and a major on Twitch, and be given a proper platform, because we've seen other games adapt the Pokemon fighting system, whether it be modes in Dota, Dota's Workshop, or Minecraft, and there's such a there is a stage for a competitive Pokemon scene that's bigger than it currently is, because right now it's kind of like a hobby scene. It's kind of like a hobby esport, and if presented properly, with the right analysis, with the right presentation, with the right fluff around it, I think there's a lot of potential, because everyone who grew up in the era that we grew up in up until today, love the visuals of Pokemon, and I think there's a stage for this. You guys are right. I think there really is a stage for this.
Yeah.
Man, can you imagine that? Like a Pokemon championship? That would like what Ziv was saying. Yeah, it's probably gonna be really lit.
It's gonna be lit. I'm just imagining it now. Like, you see, like, sorry, this is a little bit somewhat off topic, but
okay.
On Twitch they streamed the Pokemon trading card game World Championships.
Oh, I got a lot of viewers.
Yeah. It was a lot of viewers, and chat was going wild with the combinations. And imagine that times 10 if they actually had this. That's my guess, because everyone here can relate to Pokemon, whether it be the newest generation or even just the first generation. People can still relate, because Pokemons are cute, cuddly, and they're deadly at the same time.
And the fact that it's on the Switch kind of solves the issue of not everyone can play.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Because the Switch is very accessible. It's mobile, it's portable. You can bring it anywhere, and you don't have to be like in the end game meta to enjoy Pokemon. You could play Pokemon casually, watch a tournament online, and see people at the very edge of that meta pushing that level 1 Pidgey that has that weird move that actually knocks out the level 100. You know what I mean? Like, there's all that stuff that's interesting. That looks like the chess of esports. We compare everything to the chess of esports now, because it's turn-based, right? It's turn-based, and there's room for it with Pokemon, and I would love to see it. Yeah. Now is the perfect time with how accessible this is now. We would host quit stalling Pokemon Scrim Nights. Yes, heck yes.
Oh my god.
I would love to be a caster for that.
Dude,
one.
Right?
Yes.
Oh my
god. And ElderDjinn bringing out the Lucario. Oh my god.
Arcanine is trembling in his boots. The Furybot does not know how to counter this.
What is he gonna do? Oh, is he gonna do a tactical switch?
And here comes Lieutenant Surge, the cream of the crop.
Oh god. Here we go again.
The Caterpie. He brought out the level 100 Caterpie.
Oh, dude, I would be so down for that. We have the contestants on Discord just talking to themselves, man.
Oh wow.
Oh, that would be next level
so
presentation.
Cool. That's next level right there.
Like, I think that's something that they could do with like the CCG esports. Is just have the streamers talk and like give their thoughts. There's stuff that's missing in next level esports that I think would be super good that we could implement and stuff like that. So I have ideas. I have thoughts. I'm a sentient being.
Okay. But
man.
But for real though, Harold, I mean, don't just sit on your laurels with that one. I think a Pokemon Scrim Night on Quit Stalling, I think we're gonna get an audience for that one.
We're gonna get an audience,
so
definitely.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be an audience for that.
We're not gonna do it half-assed.
I kind of regretted saying I regret saying it on air now. Now people are gonna just take it and run with it, and then say that they did it first. You know, it's like
It's fine.
on, man.
It's not about who did it first. It's about who did it best.
Yeah, there you go. There you
Exactly.
go.
Exactly.
Yeah, he's
Right.
You got the right idea, buddy.
All right. And
We're on the right
in our
track,
last
Harold.
bit of oh yeah, we definitely are. I would be so down, man. Like and you
I
know,
would be.
of course we do what we do with World of Warcraft is we do more than just the competitive side. We do the RP side as well. Man, I'd be so down.
We do more than just worship our Blizzard overlords.
We also pay homage to our Nintendo overlords.
Yes, Masuda-san, we love you. All right, let's move on. Let's move on to our last bit of Nintendo news. Breath of the Wild is about to get a sequel. People knew they wanted it. They didn't know when they were gonna get it, and we still don't. But now we have the announcement that it's actually in the works, and we got a good look at the man or thing known as Ganondorf, and this thing is scary as heck. But it got everyone hyped as heck.
Yeah. Man, it's super spooky looking, but I mean, I love it. You know, it calls back to like Twilight Princess.
Yeah, man.
Character.
It's beautiful.
And yeah, I mean, I'm hyped for it. It looks really nice.
Yeah, it's yeah, that's how it is, man. It's beautiful, and I love how Zelda's actually with Link this time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Finally.
It kind of makes it feel like she might be playable, but you know, that's a pipe dream. You know what
I
It's a pipe dream.
mean, you gotta
would be-
dream. You gotta dream to make it happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
True.
against it.
True.
Man,
So true.
like you know, we used to dream that Pokemon would be sort of open world, you know, in the way that we saw with Sword and Shield. We finally got it. So yeah. You never know.
Yeah.
You never know. I would love
Yes.
to have Zelda like be interchangeable with Link, kind of like in those games where you just press up and then you're Link, then you press right and then you're Zelda. Yeah, like I
Right.
want
Oh,
that.
that would be dope.
Yeah.
I
And you
want
have those
that.
co-optional like dungeon. You have to unlock it by like Zelda has to pull the lever while Link is standing up there. That would be so cool. And and it's all controlled by one character.
And
one
finally, to the masses, we can finally get it clear that Zelda is the girl.
person. Yes.
Yeah. Right.
Oh man.
man.
Good stuff. Good stuff from Nintendo. Like, I like this year's E3, and you know, to wrap up part 1 of our E3 special, which has gone on for 2 hours. We got a supersized episode, guys. Well, let's tackle the ETC, the etc.
These
As,
special mentions.
Yes, the special
Yeah.
mentions. Elgin, Mick, you guys wanna go back and forth with this?
Okay.
Sure.
Can I do Bethesda's?
Sure. Do Bethesda, man. Go for it.
So there was the Bethesda press conference, which, in my personal opinion, was you could say the running joke of the E3 conference. Like, mind you, take what I'm saying with a grain of salt, but I'm saying that based on. Urim in the chat's killing me. Based on what they were talking about. Oh, okay, there it is. Bethesda. It just went great. No, but based on what they were
Bethesda.
talking about at their conference, I felt pretty bad just watching it. So first and foremost, one of the funny, awkward things that went on during the conference. You know how whenever Todd Howard walks in and gives his speech to everybody, everyone
Yeah.
gives him a standing ovation.
Yeah.
It showed 4 people standing, giving him a standing ovation, and everyone else was just sitting, just whatever, you know.
Oh wow.
Uh,
So that implies that, you know, Bethesda hires like initiators to basically stand up and, you know, do a standing ovation so that everyone else would be doing it for them.
Yeah, we do
And-
that too. You know, we plant people like Mikupi and Chill Fox in the chat. You know, encourage people to talk.
Yes. Yeah.
We tried to
something
get
like
Notorious KGM to be an initiator, but he refused.
that.
He got initiated by Mikupi and Chill Fox.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm not just saying that because to back it up, literally there was one guy yelling, "Yeah!" after every sentence somebody was
Yeah.
like whenever somebody was talking. And I thought that was pretty funny, but as far as like games are concerned, I mean, a lot of what they were showing was stuff that we all Doom Eternal, Elder Scrolls Online, Elsewhere. Elder Scrolls Blades. Like, really? Like, we're still talking about this game. What else were they? I think one of the only interesting things that I got out of it was the technology they were working on with Project Orion,
Okay.
Oh.
which is basically Bethesda's take on the whole streaming service. That essentially what they're saying is, we've been working on a service that makes it better than, that just makes it better, and we're basically working with others to kind of implement this for the streaming service.
Yeah.
Or at least that's what I got out of it. I have to watch it again just to get better details on it. But the point is, yeah, they're working on their own streaming service as well. Supposed to be good,
Yeah.
you know. And that's the only unique thing that came out of the Bethesda, press conference.
Well, they're also
everything
putting
else is-
Battle Royale in Fallout 76.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
You opened that can of worms, so
Vault
let's talk
51.
about that, right?
all 51, baby.
So yeah, Fallout 76, right? This is the mind blowing announcement thing, right? Not Battle Royale. Battle Royale, sure, okay, interesting. Get this, guys. They put NPCs in there.
Oh wow. Oh my god.
No,
Really?
no, man. That's a
Whoa.
rumor. That's a rumor. All right.
Oh
no,
my
God.
no way they're gonna do that to a video game.
Guys, Fallout 76, an RPG game, now has NPCs.
Oh my god.
Isn't that like for real? Like that's your
I'm-
announcement? NPCs for your RPG game? Like, what the But yeah, like yeah, it's Fallout 76, man. Why are they still beating this dead horse? Like honestly, this dead horse of a game. Like why?
Because
But
there's
anyway.
a devout following for it. Like there's a small core group of people who
I
you know
mean, I
love the game.
guess.
who love being
Sorta.
alone in that game, where they promised multiplayer, but apparently that didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, think about it this way. Battle Royale, let me just dissect that. A Battle Royale game using the shooting mechanics inherent to Fallout. How much of a shit show is that going? Like,
It'd be
seriously. It's like, oh yeah, everyone's just using VATS. Like, where's the skill there? Like, what is that going to look like? I don't know. It's
Oh, it's gonna look like a terrible mess. It's gonna-
Yeah.
okay, we'll go with that.
yeah. All right. Year 2 begins at Fallout 76, I guess.
I mean,
Lone Night Wolf in the chat goes, "No one loves the game. No one."
yeah, you're not wrong.
We're not
Yes.
against you. We're
I
not
stand
against you.
corrected then. I
Not
stand
against-
corrected then. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Also, we gotta give a shout out to Nakamura-san for hyping up Ghostwire
that's right.
Tokyo.
Yes. I mean,
Yes.
I get it. Like, she was an adorable person who doesn't know how, like, my English is not very good, like, kind of thing, you know. And she was
Yo,
she was doing her best.
Why did she sound like an Italian? My English is
Oh,
not
I mean-
very good.
Whatever. You get what I mean. That's what she was saying. But you know what I mean? She was like giving her best, like
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
speak English to everybody, even though it's not her first language. And
Yeah.
And wasn't
everyone
it
was like,
adorable?
"Aw,"
Wasn't it like-
okay,
No, she-
you tried?
It's basically Shinji Mikami. Or like, I'm reading a tweet now from who's this again? Sorry, a tweet now from Dan Jimenez or the underscore Jimenez on Twitter. He just basically
Jimenez.
we've just watched the torch passing down because she's basically a disciple of Shinji Mikami.
Yeah.
She worked on Bayonetta. She worked on Okami and The Evil Within, and now she's the creative director for this game. So that's
Right.
the next generation. We just witnessed the passing down of the torch. Pretty cool.
Exactly.
He's right. He's actually right in saying that.
And you know, like sometimes you just gotta give a mushroom to our favorite game developer, formerly of Konami, and turn him into a girl. Yeah, you gotta.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta Bowsette a certain Japanese developer. Yeah.
Wait. Oh. Oh,
Sometimes
wait a
that's how it
minute.
goes.
You're not implying.
I don't know what you're talking about, but
Kojima, is that you?
It's a younger, more youthful female Kojima.
Oh, no. Anyway.
But yeah, again, I want to give a shout out to Lone Nightwolf and Bones in the chat. BMO in the chat also said 50,000 caps for Preston Garvey skin.
Yeah.
Oh jeez, man.
And then her-
Bethesda.
Yeah, Notorious
All right,
KG is like the true star of Bethesda. Absolutely, she
Exactly.
saved Bethesda.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, she saved it.
The
Super
enthusiasm alone.
yeah. Super
Yeah.
positive reaction by everyone on the internet. You know, there was good fan art. Like I think Shillfox mentioned that she was happy with the fan art that came out of that. And other developers and publishers that were there, Devolver Digital was there doing their usual. They did their thing.
Same old, same old.
I love Devolver.
So much blood. So much blood. Good lord.
Like-
That was a lot of blood. More blood than from last year.
Yeah, which is saying something because like last year, Nina got blasted to shit. So
Yeah.
like, she, but to be fair, I mean, I love what Devolver Digital does every year. They're always making fun of like the craziness that the
Yeah.
trends that have been going on in the gaming industry.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
this one has been Devolver Direct. Obviously, they're making fun of Nintendo Direct. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I just love that. I love that
So
they,
good.
you know,
They're so
they're so tongue in cheek with everything that's going on
Yeah.
in their industry.
That's good
They-
marketing for you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially,
exactly.
especially last year when it kind of blew up that they do this, right? And they did that hype reel that everyone does to hype up their stuff, and you were like, where is this leading? And then you get like, okay, they're just making fun of it. They're just making fun of how the industry hypes stuff
Exactly.
up.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
so-
Dude, it's-
Yeah, and it was a cluster F of color last year, and this
Yeah.
year it was blood, lots of blood.
Just lots of blood. Lots of blood.
just lots of blood. Blood everywhere.
I love how they started the press conference with, "Oh crap, we don't have a show. What are we gonna do? Well, maybe we should just do a bunch of musical." Like, that was last.
Yeah, a bunch of
that was
musical
last
what? A bunch of musical what?
musical performances.
Oh, performances. Yeah.
Yeah, like you know how last year it's E3, Ubisoft was like, "Oh yeah, we have this thing for Assassin's Creed, this thing for that," but like 90% of their press conference was just people dancing and
People
music.
dancing.
Yeah.
People
And the
music.
flute
and
guy.
all that stuff.
The flu guy.
And the blue guy, yes, that too, you know.
They did start with the Assassin's Creed Symphony though. Like they gave him
Yeah.
a taste of what they're gonna see because it's Assassin's Creed Symphony Live. It's on
Yeah,
a tour.
but-
Yeah, they
But
got
that's
tour
what it was all about. Like it's
dates.
just music. Like why, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Uh,
But that was Devolver Digital. I mean, they're always a lot of fun to watch. It's stupid schlocky, like, just stupid schlocky stuff. But it's awesome to watch. You know.
Yes.
it is. It is.
Yes.
All right, and let's wrap things up. We got our last two PC gaming show. What happened
Yep.
at PC gaming show?
Super quick. They announced a few games. Most notably, Baldur's Gate 3. Yeah,
Yes.
they announced
Yes.
Baldur's Gate 3, and I think one that I should probably mention because this will resonate with a lot of our viewers is that auto chess. You guys know the popular mod for Dota 2, auto chess. Well, the
Yes.
creator Drodo Studio, who created the mobile version, is now going to make a version of it for the PC, and it's going to be an Epic Games exclusive. More to come as we, maybe in our future episodes. But so far, they just announced it that they are going to be an Epic Games Store exclusive. So yeah, that's pretty cool.
Cycling
We're gonna
back,
have it.
Yeah, cycling back real quick to Baldur's Gate. The trailer looked horrific, and in a good
As
way.
always.
I
Yeah.
love it. For those unfamiliar, it's set in the Forgotten Realms, in the D&D world, and oh man, I want to cut away from this real quick because they just show him puking his teeth out.
Demonetized.
Demonetized.
Mature
Baldur's Gate
tag.
Baldur's Gate is fantastic because for people like me who usually play as a dungeon master for role playing games, for tabletop games, you actually get to play a character, and you actually get to live in the world of Dungeons and Dragons. And with the first 2 games, the emphasis was with the player and how they take the story. They talked about it in the developer deep dive, where I think it was on IGN, where they said that, you know, if you play through the story, you get to decide certain things, like, do you redeem the city of Baldur's Gate, or do you sink it down into the depths of where it was originally intended to go with how the people were treating the city. And it's that kind of player control that you kind of, you know, you have to dream up as the dungeon master, as the player who's playing D&D with all their friends. And Baldur's Gate kind of takes you there. And I'm looking forward to that continuing. It actually makes me want to finish the first Baldur's Gate and actually get to play the second Baldur's Gate. And they were saying, you know, mind flayers, which I'm going to bring up real quick on screen right now, are going to be a huge part of it. And
wow,
you know, more Eldritch, more Cthulhu-ness, yay. Yeah, that's all I have to say for that.
I am not against this. Yeah.
Yes, I'm definitely not against this. And yeah, Baldur's Gate is and the whole D&D universe is really good. So looking forward to it.
That's good. Good for them.
Yeah.
Lastly, Borderlands 3. We wanted to talk about that before we ended the show.
Finally, the release date. I'm proud to announce that Borderlands 3 will release on my birthday, September 13, 2019.
So for those of you keeping track, all right, Mick's birthday is September 13. All right, and he's
I will most likely not be on that episode of GameByte. Just saying.
That's not a Wednesday.
If it is on a Wednesday, I'm just saying.
No, it's on a Friday.
Good. Oh, thank God. Oh, even better.
So you have
Friday.
a whole weekend. You're good. Yeah, you have a whole weekend.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have a weekend to celebrate.
Nice.
Gotta get down
Today
on
I'm-
Friday.
Yeah, I do have to say that they recently I think it was Gearbox, right? Gearbox was the developers, right? They pulled out Borderlands 3 pre-order from the Epic Game Store because apparently they weren't notified that there was a sale, so the pre-order went down in price. So they realized that they
Whoa. Okay.
yeah.
Jeez.
It happens. It happens.
Notorious KGM. The date was released way before E3. All right. Yeah. That's
Okay.
good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. We knew that. We knew that.
Because
That's why people were. That's why people were excited, and we were like, "Oh, Borderlands 2 is so cheap. Let's get that as well, so we can get hyped up for."
Oh,
for
right.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention Borderlands 2. They also released a free DLC for Borderlands 2.
Yes.
It's called Commander Lilith and the Fight for Sanctuary, which is a free downloadable DLC right now on Steam or wherever you got your Borderlands 2. Yeah, it's for all of those who bought the game, and it's basically a pre-sequel, not a pre-sequel. It is the story to prep you for what's gonna happen in Borderlands 3.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. That's it. We tackled everything we found interesting at E3. E3's happening right now still, so go watch that when we end the show. Next week we look like we're going to have the folks over from Ranada Games on one of the GameByte episodes next week, because we're going to have two. One to recap E3 and one to talk to the folks over at Ranada Games, because they are releasing their game Bayani. Kanino kakakampi? It's a fighting game based on Philippine heroes, and you know what? Who better to talk to than the developers of Bayani? And we're gonna get them on the show real soon. We'll give you guys updates on that, and of course tomorrow we've got Quit Stalling Overwatch Scrim Nights. All right, we've rescheduled it. We were supposed to have it yesterday, but it's gonna be tomorrow instead. For all you Overwatch heads, join us. We'll shoutcast. We'll have some fun. We'll just have some fun. That's all it is. We're gonna end the show, guys. We're gonna do it. We're gonna end the show. Oh, why is the E3 logo super big? Let me change that.
To show how excited we are about E3.
Yeah, and Mick is actually Diego right now, so we're gonna fix that as well. Let's bring you down here.
I'm Diego Z.
All right,
follow me
bring you down there
on twitch.tv/instadzee. DEEZEE.
RESPCT. All right, we're gonna end things here. Thank you to Elgene and Mick for joining me on today's episode. We hope DZ's all right. We hope you're doing good, buddy.
Yeah,
we miss you. All right, I miss you. let's end things here. Final thoughts on today's episode and what's been happening at E3, guys.
Overall, as far as E3 is concerned, I think this E3 was a lot better than last year's. Like, I think we can kind of agree on that one.
Mm-hmm.
You can already see the gears are turning within the gaming industry as a whole. You can already start to see the trends that are, that we're going to be seeing in the future, such as your streaming platforms, SSDs and consoles, that sort of thing.
Wow.
You know what I mean? So it's a pretty exciting time to be alive in gaming. Sure, there's a lot of interesting things on the horizon coming into 2020, and E3 has laid that bare for all of us to see. So yeah, really excited for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yes.
Mick, what about you?
Yes.
Yeah. 3 points. Just 3 points for me. One, this year we saw a more mature company that is trying to move on from microtransactions and actually becoming more, more conscious about what they would and they wouldn't monetize, which is good for games. That's hooray for us, the consumer.
Right.
Number 2, this year we saw more updates for existing titles rather than new like game-breaking titles that have just been announced, which shows how impactful 2018 was for the gaming community. And 3, last but not the least, Pokemon Sword and Shield, baby. That's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing, man. That's it. All I gotta say. What about you, Harold? What do you gotta say about this whole E3?
I can't wait for Pokemon Scrim Night coming to you on a night real soon here on twitch.tv/QuitStalin. Pay attention as well for Pokemon Sword and Shield RP. That's right, lassie. We'll be RPing some Pokemon
Coming
Sword
soon,
and
early
Shield.
2020.
Toy. We're gonna be trading some potatoes left and right. You know it. You know it to be true. All right.
You know it's
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. All right.
gonna be
Lucky
great.
Charms, stars, squares, and all those shapes.
I'm gonna love this very
I
much.
swear,
It's gonna be amazing.
I
It's gonna
swear.
be.
I swear, Harold, you're gonna have to use that voice if you ever go alone.
Oh no!
He froze.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Wait, if we ever go where? If we ever go where?
Oh, hey, he's good. He's good. He's good.
What are you talking about, huh?
So you froze.
No,
You
you
froze. If
froze,
we ever
you
go
froze.
where? If
Oh,
we ever
shit.
go where?
If you ever go Alliance, and then that's
You're
your
a dwarf.
RP character has to be that what you were
Dwarf.
just doing now.
Oh yes, don't worry. I'll be Father Harkus. I'll be talking as a. I'll be guiding you in the ways of the light. Don't worry
Ways of the
about
light.
it.
There you go.
Welcome to Quit Stalling's Pokemon Scrim Nights, eh?
We'll be the
Yeah.
quorum of sanctified gentlemen. QS. for short.
Oh, we're all gonna sound like Jack Skeptic Guy. Love that guy.
Oh my
Shout out to Jack Skeptic Guy.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be
Septic
good.
Eye, I
Pokemon RP, guys. Yeah, no. When we do Pokemon RP, I gotta do the electric. Yeah, I gotta bring in the energy. All right, I gotta represent the cream of the crop.
Yes, you do.
Snap into a Slim Jim. Yeah. He's gonna be
Oh,
eating
man.
Slim Jims for days.
Oh, dude, for real. Yeah, or I could just be the Brock. I wouldn't mind being the Brock.
The Brock, you should be the Brock.
The Brock. If you smell.
Oh, this would be so good. It'd be so. And Brock
Oh,
cooks
man.
too, man. Brock cooks us. He cooks up a storm.
Yeah.
All right. No, but for real though, E3's been good. I had zero expectations, and I'm coming out with a lot more hope. Not just for gaming, but just for stuff that I like, stuff that I enjoy. And at the end of the day, that's why we do GameByte, is we talk about stuff that we like. We try to avoid stuff that we don't, because why poop on something when you can celebrate stuff that makes you happy? And that's all we want to do.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
The reason why we're so hard on certain companies is because we expect more from them, especially because we grew up with certain companies close to our hearts, and we just hope that they go in a better direction that they're currently on.
Right.
E3 this year gives me hope. I hope that we don't say the opposite next year. And I hope BlizzCon this year, being a WoW expansion year, goes back to form, because last year's BlizzCon definitely wasn't the best.
It's WoW
yeah,
expansion season.
I know, man. It's gonna be crazy.
Oh,
It's gonna be
man.
crazy.
It'd be
And,
crazy.
yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm hopeful, and I want Avengers to be good. That's it. That's about it. All right.
Oh yes.
Oh yes. Oh yes. ElderDjinn, our brother at arms. Where can everyone find you when you're not on GameByte?
When I'm not at GameByte, you can find me on twitch.tv/ElderDjinn. As you can.
Yes,
I
twitch.tv/ElderDjinn.
Yep. Yeah, I mean that's if I'm streaming Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Right now, I've been playing World of Warcraft, so I'm going to be streaming that tonight.
Times may vary.
Yeah. Well, not really. It's usually 7 o'clock. But anyway, that's besides the point. That's besides the point. If you can't find me there, you can always find me on Twitter. That's at ElderDjinn. And if you don't find me there, you can always join us on Quit Stalling Discord. I'm usually pretty active over there, so if you have anything you want to ask me, feel free to find me on the Quit Stalling Discord.
That's right. Are you at ElderDjinn? Did you secure that already? Are you public?
Well, no, I'm still private, but I do have the name. Yes, it is at ElderDjinn.
Okay.
That's good.
Let's get you public, man. Let's get you public and get you tweeting and tagging.
Nice.
Let's do it. All right, Mick, where can everyone find you when you're not on GameByte?
When I'm not wearing my beautiful Vitas hat here on GameByte, I am on Twitter. Find me there at the FuryBot. Tweet to me, correct me if I made some wrong information that I just shared here. Or you could also find me on Instagram at the FuryBot, where I normally post about stuff I just bought for games and toys and stuff. And aside from that, find me on Discord, on the Quit Stalling Discord, where you can just tag me. Yeah, that's at the FuryBot. Yeah, it'll pop up there. Don't worry. And of course, every Wednesday night here on twitch.tv/quitstalling, and sometimes Sundays at Quit Stalling, where we do the WoWRP. Yeah, so yeah, you can find me there. What about you, Harold? Where can the folks
Y'all
find you?
can find me at Herald Plays on Twitter and on Instagram. You can also find me streaming here on twitch.tv/quitstalling. Sometimes I might be an orc shaman. Sometimes I might be a night elf demon hunter or Spider-Man. Spider-Man. Sometimes I'll be Spider-Man. Yeah, I'll be streaming. As a shaman. All right, here on twitch.tv/quitstalling. If you guys want to find more, of me, I'll also be shoutcasting Overwatch tomorrow night here on Quitstalling. And in the morning, I might be doing the Quitstalling Geekcast with Wancho and Derek. So stay tuned for that as well. I'm gonna try and give you guys updates as soon as we can. Yeah, weeklies, GameByte here, Wednesday nights, 9:30 p.m., 6:30 a.m. Pacific, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. And, check out our most recent episode with Thorn from Laggin' Balls and Convert to Raid presents the BattleNet News. That was a super awesome interview, and we were so thankful to have Thorn on. Thorn, if you're watching or you're listening, I'm sorry I thanked you at the very end of the podcast, but we love you, and we're super happy that you came on, and super flattered that you decided to do it. Shout out to Thist as well. And shout out to all the ballers. All right, shout out to every single one of you guys. Anything else I want to say? If you guys want to find more of our stuff, or if you want to keep up to date with all things Quit Stalling, follow us on our social media at Quit Stalling Us on Facebook and Twitter. Facebook.com/QuitStallingUs or Twitter.com/QuitStallingUs. The U and the S are very important after Quit Stalling. But if you want to follow us on Instagram, drop the us and just follow us at Quit Stalling. And the same for YouTube. YouTube.com/QuitStalling. And of course, here, live every week on Twitch.tv/QuitStalling. Hit that follow button if you enjoy what you saw. Cheer us on with some bits. Or, subscribe to us like Human Panda 22, who has celebrated his anniversary sub with us last week. Congratulations and thank you very much, Human Panda, for all your support. Guys like Ferran, Sishu, and BMO King of Wu are worth mentioning, just like Miko P, Sensei Humor, Neo Gear, Shelfbox, Monster Plays, Ion Hammer Stream, and InstaDZ. These nuts! And of course, all our bit cheers. Our numero uno bit cheer, Nerf Diva, with 4,052, getting close to that goal. Neo Gear and Nope_plays, ElderDjinn. How are you there? If not now, Gwen, Mercy, Gamako, Miko P, Tita Gamings, and InstaDZ, all pushing us towards that goal. Let me see if I can bring it up on screen. I'm scared that the thing is gonna break. No, we did it. There it is. if you want to cheer us on, we are that much closer. We're 75, almost 76% of the way to our bit cheer goal. If we get to 18,634 bits, we're gonna do Twitch sing. We're gonna do Quit Stalling Twitch sings, or if Nerf Diva or any one of our bit cheerers reaches 5,000 in total, all of us will be singing here on Twitch. Thank you to all our followers like M. Kylo, Sure_Killer, Alien Socrates, A Miracle, Fender Official, Kaboom Nasty, Potato Boy is me, Fiery Scorpion 249, and Proto Brine. That is about it. If you guys want to find our podcasts like the Quit Stalling Geekcast and GameByte, check us out on Spotify. Just type out GameByte with a Y, or the Quit Stalling Geekcast, or you can check us out on any podcatcher out there, whether it be Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Player.fm, Pocket Casts, Overcast, and so much more. We're there. Leave us a 5-star review and tell your friends about us, because, you know, we need more people to find out about us. But that's it for the show. We're going to see you guys next week. Same bite time, same bite channel. Till then, get off your butts and quit stalling. We'll see you guys next time. Bye, everybody. Bye.
Bye, everyone. See ya. Okay.
Great show, guys. Great show.